I welcome you all to the session 4. We are in session 4, am I correct? So let's move on to the session. I want you all to cast a horoscope. Put Rahu in the Ashtama Bhava. All of you put Rahu in the Ashtama Bhava. Meanwhile, I'll just connect the iPad to the Mac. So you have to put Rahu in the Ashtama Bhava, and you have to actually mark down where it would aspect. Okay. So the predictions that we are going to cover now is for all those who have Rahu in the 8th bhava or the Ashtama bhava, and or for those who have Rahu, let's not use the word and, that would be misleading, or for all those who have Rahu in Vrishchika. Okay. So now I'm going to put, let's consider this. We are going to predict as per the Kala Purusha Kundli. So let's say somebody has just joined in today, right? And if you ask this question, sir, but my lagna is not Mesha, irrespective of what your lagna is, as long as Rahu is in the Ashtama Bhava, you would consider the predictions as per the Kala Purusha Kundli. So we're going to put Rahu here. All right. Now, all of you tell me, if Rahu is in the Ashtama Bhava, where would Ketu be? If Rahu is in the Ashtama Bhava, where would Ketu be?
Second
house.
Very good. Very good. All right. So you can put Ketu in the 2nd house or the 2nd Bhava. All right. So now you have Rahu in the Ashtama Bhava, Ketu in the 2nd Bhava. So now this Rahu in the Ashtama Bhava, right? Where would he aspect? For those of who want to interact, please make sure that there is no background noise. If there is a background noise, please don't interact, right? Because you would be impairing the other students, and especially when the recording comes, right? It would be disturbing for others. So now if Rahu is in the Ashtama Bhava, you told me Ketu would be in the 2nd Bhava. If Rahu is in Vrishchika, Ketu would be in Vrishabha. Okay, fine. Now Rahu in the Ashtama Bhava, where would he aspect? All of you, where would he aspect?
Makara.
Okay.
Kanya and
Makara. Makara Rashi and Kanya Rashi, or 6 and 10. Very, very good. Okay. So Rahu in the Ashtama Bhava is going to aspect what? The 10th Bhava and the 6th Bhava. So immediately your mind should go to the qualities. What are the qualities of Vrishchika Rashi? And Rahu in the Ashtama Bhava. From there, taking the qualities of Vrishchika Rashi, he is aspecting the 6th, he is aspecting the 10th, which is Makara and Kanya Rashi. And Ketu in the 2nd Bhava, where would he aspect? And Ketu in the 2nd Bhava, where would he aspect?
Meenam
And
Kadakam.
Very good. All of you? Meena Rashi and Kadaka Rashi, right? So this is how it is. So you have Ketu, you have Rahu, Ketu in the 2nd, which would go about an aspect Kadaka, which is the 4th Bhava of the Kala Purusha. And he would also go about an aspect the 12th. You have Rahu, who would go about an aspect what? He would go about an aspect from the 8th, he would aspect the 6th. So this would be the basis of all your predictions, right? The basis of all your predictions will actually go about and come from here. As simple as that. Based on this, you're going to go about and build your predictions. You're going to go about and create your predictions step by step, bit by bit. And that is how you should actually do it. Even before I tell you also, you should actually come up with a set of finite predictions based on the GRAHA, based on the GRAHA KARAKATHWA, and based on the Rashi KARAKATHWA and the Bhava, right? This is how it is. Because And very, very important, the most important thing here is every time you actually go about and cast a horoscope, right? You will actually go about and get a clarity on how to go about with the prediction. So the moment you cast a horoscope, one, you will be able to come up with an idea on how to actually go about and create a set of finite, precise, orderly predictions. Right? So I want you all to come into attention here, bring your attention here. Rahu is in the Ashtama Bhava. Ketu is in the second Bhava. And what is he doing? He is connected with what? He is connected with the fourth Bhava and the 12th Bhava. So you have 8, you have 2, you have 4, you have 12. Let's start. Number 1. In a young age, the Jataka or the native will have poor health, else face danger. In the Kudumbasthana itself, you have Ketu. Next, in the Kudumbasthana itself, you have Ketu. If Rahu is in the 8th, Ketu is in the 2nd, in the Kudumbasthana. So write down point number 2. Will live apart from the family. Will live apart from the family. They would say, I grew up with my grandfather. I grew up with my grandmother. From a young age, I was in my grandfather's house. Number 3. Will leave their native place and will reside out of their native place. Your native place, your birthplace is which bhava? Which bhava is your native place or your birthplace? Fourth bhava.
Fourth.
Ketu in the 2nd is going about and aspecting the next. Now let's come to Rahu here. Rahu in the Ashtama Bhava. Number 4. Will have skin related ailment. Will have skin related ailment. Number 5. Else. If Shani is associated with whom? With Rahu. If Shani is associated, will have poisonous bites. Will have poisonous bites. So you have Rahu in the Ashtama Bhava, and this Shani is, let's say he's aspecting Rahu, or let's say he's along with Rahu, then immediately you should tell this person, you will have poisonous bites. Or did you have a poisonous bite? And the answer would be a yes. What are we basing our predictions on here? We are basing the predictions based on the Ashtama Bhava. Okay. Next. So again, keeping the Ashtama Bhava in mind, write down number 6. Will have more than one source of income. Why? Because the Ashtama Bhava indicates more than one, many. So the Jataka will have more than one source of income. Number 7. The native will have property or properties away from one's town, one's hometown. The native will have properties away from one's hometown. It will be out of town. It will be in a far off place. It will be in a distant place. See, for everything I'm telling you, there is a logic. So towards the end, all of you should ask me the logic, because don't memorize things without understanding the logic, because only when you understand the logic, 10 points, 20 points can become 200 points to 500 points. Easily 200 to 500 points you can actually come up with, especially if you consider Rahu in the Ashtama Bhava or Ketu in the Ashtama Bhava. because you're considering two grahas here, right? So only when you understand the logic, you would be able to come up with more and more points. Of course, I will give you the time to ask doubts. Right? Next, number 8. The father will face a danger. In bracket, you write Ganda or Gandam. Will face a danger, Ganda, Gandam, or will face a litigation. The father will face a danger, else the father will face a litigation. Number 9. The father will have one bad habit. The father will have one bad habit. Okay. Now what I want you all to do is mark the 9th bhava. All of you mark the 9th bhava. Which is the 9th bhava? All of you, where do you want me to mark the 9th bhava?
Sagittarius.
Sagittarius.
So let's mark the 9th bhava here. Okay. Now, once you have marked the 9th bhava, which is the 4th from the 9th bhava?
Meena.
Meena.
What is happening to Meena Rashi here? The 4th from the 9th bhava. Why am I taking the 4th from the 9th bhava? The father's health, the father's sukha. So how is the 4th from the 9th bhava, all of you?
Ketu is
Afflicted. Afflicted.
Why is he afflicted here?
Ketu.
Ketu expecting.
Okay. Which is the, so from the 9th bhava, which is the Ashtama bhava? From the 9th bhava, which is the Ashtama
Fourth house.
bhava?
Cancer. Karka.
Fourth house.
Kadaka. Fourth. Kadaka.
How is he?
Afflicted.
He's also he's doing association with Ketu.
So now the 8th from the 9th bhava is also afflicted owing to the influence or the aspect of Ketu. The 4th from the 9th is also afflicted owing to the aspect of Ketu. All right. How is the 6th from the 9th bhava? Or who's the 6th from the 9th bhava?
Second house.
How is he?
Ketu.
There is
Afflicted, sir.
obviously a Ketu here. So the 4th from 9th bhava, there is a influence of Ketu. The 8th from 9th bhava, there is the influence of Ketu. The 6th from the 9th bhava, there is the influence of Ketu. So obviously, you will say the father will face dangers, the father will have poor health, the father will undergo litigation. Okay. How is the 2nd from the 9th bhava? How is the 2nd from the 9th bhava?
Aspected
Rahu.
by Rahu.
Influenced by Rahu.
So what will happen to the father now? The father will have one bad habit.
Bad habit.
All of you clear? So here, you write
Yes, sir.
down. The 4th from 9th is aspected by Ketu. The 8th from 9th is aspected by Ketu. The 6th from 9th is occupied by Ketu. So the father will have poor health. The father will face dangers. The father will face accident or litigation. This is how we need to actually go about and predict. Again, the 2nd from the 9th house is aspected by Rahu. Thus, what happens? The father will have one bad habit. Number 10. The father, keeping this logic in mind, the father will progress out of his town, right? Because the 2nd is aspected by Rahu. So now you can ask me this question, sir, when we are predicting, can we tell the father in a young age, this father will actually go through some litigation, go through some difficulty, go through some accident? See, it is not about whether a person is young or whether a person is old. The concept that you need to understand here is whatever it is, these experiences, be it for the father or be it for whatever we are predicting for the person, these are inevitable events, experiences that one needs to undergo in life. Right? So your father will face a litigation, accident, danger. So if the person says, you know what, my father did not face any of it, then inevitably it is going to happen. That is what you need to keep in mind. One of them, right? Number 11. Number 11. There will be occupations related to medicine. We're talking about the Jataka here. We're talking about the native here. Point number 11. Okay. There would be occupations pertaining to medicine, Jyotisha, government-related job, else temple-related work, which means working in the temple as a priest. So one, they will be working in a temple, or somebody in the family at least would have been working in the temple, or somebody in the family would have been an astrologer, or they themselves would have been an astrologer, or somebody would be into a government or government-related profession. In fact, all these professions will do very, very good for those who have Rahu in the Ashtama Bhava. It will take them to the top. Number 12. The native. The native. For the purpose of Udyoha or occupation, will move from one place to another place, will travel from one place to another place. Why? Because Rahu is connected with the 6th bhava and the 10th bhava. Or point number 12.1, 12.2. For the purpose of, no, he will change his Udyoha. He will change his Udyoha, occupation, 3 times. Either he will change his job 3 times, or he will go about and change his profession itself 3 times. Rahu is equal to number 3. Number 13. The mother will have putra dosha. Why will the mother have putra dosha? Why? Because the 4th bhava. The 4th from the 5th bhava is occupied by a Ashubha Graha, which is Rahu, and he is in Vrishchaka Rashi, which indicates putra dosha. So this is how it is. Right. Okay. So you have the 4th bhava. The 5th from the 4th bhava is occupied by Rahu. Which is the 9th from the 4th bhava? Which is the 9th from the 4th bhava? Which is the 9th from
Meena.
the 4th bhava?
12th house.
Very good. So what is happening to Meena? Meena is again afflicted owing to the aspect of Ketu. Am I correct? All of you, are you with me?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Number 14. So the mother will have uterus-related ailment. The mother will have uterus-related ailment. Number 15. The mother will be a spiritual person. The mother will be a spiritual person. She will have long, or she will have good hair. Hair, hair. She will have long, good, thick hair. Number 16. The native will have cold, cough, wheezing in a young age. The native will have cold, cough, wheezing in their young age. Number 17. Whoever they get married to will speak 3 languages. The 7th bhava is the Kalatra. The 7th second is occupied by Rahu. So the Kalatra, the spouse, the wife, or the husband, they will speak 3 languages. Why? Because Rahu is there. See, I just want you to give your thoughtful attention here. That's what is required. Because if you give your thoughtful attention here, it's very, very simple. The way the predictions are weaved and given to you, they are very, very simple. And the moment you understand the flow, you will be able to add few more points. You will be able to add far more points. Now, let me actually go about and tell you something. Now, we just spoke about the father. Okay. Father will have ganda, father will have danger, all of that is fine. But now, let's say this person, right? I want to know something about his father's property. You have to tell me something about his father's property. I'm not going to tell you. Now, all of you, I don't want students who are already telling to, keep repeating. No, you don't come in front. People who have not attempted to talk, people who have not conveyed, people who have not interacted, new students, right? You come in front. You tell me, right? Now, whether it is right or wrong, that is secondary. Just tell whatever comes to your mind. Now, I have a question or I want to know something about his father's property, right? So can you tell me something about the father's property? Any one of you. You just tell, you start. Any one of you. Go ahead. People who are already telling, don't go on until. New people.
Father's property
Small
will
property.
have problems with
One
the
person.
documents.
Father's property will have problems related to documents. Okay.
Yes.
All right. What else? You also give the logic behind it. Why are you telling property will have problems related to documents?
Yes, because the Meena Rashi is afflicted, that's father's property, and the third from Meena is also afflicted with the Ketu, and that are the documents of
Very good.
father's property.
Very. Yes. All others, please go on. Whatever you have found, please tell me.
Sir, can I?
Go ahead.
Namaste, sir. Sir, it will be in the corner of the street, or there could be a narrow lane in front of the house. Since
Very
it's
good.
aspected by Ketu.
Very good. Okay. Anybody? Will I be able to enjoy my father's property? My horoscope. Will I be able to enjoy my father's property?
No.
Why?
Because the ninth from 4th Meena is afflicted by Ketu, which happens to be the 12th house of the Jataka.
Okay. Anybody else? Go ahead. Whatever you found, you just share. Even if the same thing you tell me, I just want to listen to your voice, please, all of you. Ma'am, your net connection is poor. So some of you will say the father's property is not maintained.
No.
Some of you will say the father's property.
Because of the
So the native would be able to enjoy will have gains on the property because the 10th from Rahu, that is the 5th house, that is not aspected either by Rahu or Ketu.
Sir, can I say?
Can we?
What? Yeah, somebody else wants to.
Can I say?
Outside the town.
Yes, ma'am.
The
No, somebody's.
father's
No, just a minute. A new student.
is the third.
Father is the
The
third. Which
better.
is the better? Ma'am. Go ahead. All right. Somebody wants to try. Go ahead.
Sir, I was saying the father's third is a sibling of father and their second house.
Ma'am, I'm talking about father's
the
property, ma'am.
So I think
Okay.
the person can enjoy the second property and the first property will go on a very or something like that.
Okay. Whatever you're telling, all of you, very good. All of you correct. Okay.
He
GMI, go
will
ahead.
not be able to enjoy the father's property. There are two reasons for this. The first reason is Meena Rashi is afflicted. Okay. Second reason is the 5th from Meena Rashi is also afflicted by Ketu Bhagwan. Okay. And the third reason being the 9th from Meena Rashi is also being occupied by Rahu Bhagwan.
All right. Very good.
Sir, I have one more thing.
Go ahead.
Can I say that is that from Meen Rashi, we can see the 6th house. So surely litigation and could also be there.
Very good. Anybody else? One person has raised his hand.
Father will have a property outside the town. Or
Why
he
father
will have
why father will have a property outside the town?
Rahu is aspecting 4th from 9th.
Rahu is aspecting 4th from 9th. Where is Rahu aspecting 4th from 9th? Yeah. Ketu is only aspecting 4th from 9th.
Ketu yeah, correct, sir. The father will have a corner house.
Very good.
Street end property.
Very good. Okay. All right. GMI, go ahead if you want to share something.
Yes, Guruji, I think that the Jataka will enjoy the father's property
Why?
because the ninth from Meena Rashi is Rahu.
9 from Meena Rashi is Rahu.
Yeah.
All of this. Okay. Now, immediately when you talk about the father's property, all of you, now come to attention here. Okay. All of you, bring to your attention. I'm bringing you all to your attention here. Pay attention here. So you have the 4th from 9, which is 12. That is aspected by Ketu, right? And from that, if you look into the 9th, there is a Rahu. So obviously, there is a possibility for this person to have a father who has a property. But how will the property be? What will he do with the property? Write down. Where is he? He is in the 12th bhava. So what will this person do with the property? There will be a property.
Temple dana.
Yes. Now you write, ma'am. Now you write. Now all of you write. Now all of you write. Now all of you write. So now the father will have a property. This person, who the Jataka, will either give away the property, or the right word to use is sacrifice the property. Sacrifice the property. How will the property be? Will the property be small? Will the property be big? The property will be small. The property will be somewhere in the corner. The property will be near a temple. Can we tell all of this? Yes? All of you, can we tell all of this? Am I correct?
We can also tell that it is an apartment, sir.
Yes, you can tell that.
Conjoined property.
Yes, you can tell that. Right? So I'm giving you an idea on how to actually go about and predict. Now, go to point number 18. So the father's property will be small, near a temple, and they won't be able to enjoy the father's property. 4th from 9th, that's it, full stop. So, people who have Rahu in the Ashtama Bhava, one person will say that, you know what, my father had a big property. How come he had a big property? Big property, but 10 people have share in the property. So what happens to the property now? That property will become a small property. My father had 10 acres. 10 acres of prime land. But how many people have share to this 10 acres of prime land? 30 people have share. 40 people have share. Now what will happen? The property will become small. Right? So this is how it is. So that's how it is. The share that you get will be less. That is also something that you should be able to tell. It is just like the matchbox. Matchbox is filled with so many sticks. One stick when you give to a person, what happens? You just have one stick towards the end. Right? So the share that you get is small. So this is how you need to actually go about and connect one with the other. How do you connect one with the other? Where is he? Who is he connected to? Where is he aspecting? Who is he associated with? This is what you need to keep in mind. All right. Now, again, I'm asking you another question. Again, I'm asking you another question here. Because all of this is based on, you know what? You're just looking at the bhava with respect to the bhava, which is bhavat bhavam. And obviously, you are actually going about and connecting the grahas associated here. Okay. Now, I have another question for all of you. What is the bhava which signifies the younger sibling here? What is the bhava which signifies the younger sibling?
Third house.
Mithuna.
Third bhava.
Or Mithuna. Okay. Which is the second house from the third house?
Fifth house.
Which is the
Fourth house.
Fourth house.
Aya, why did you tell? No. Wait, the other person. Whoever told. Why did you tell fifth house? Aya?
I thought third. You said third.
Third house is Mithuna. I want to know something about my younger brother. Whoever is younger to me, I want to know about his family. I want to know about his second. I want to know about his family. I want to know about his earning. Which will I look? Which bhava will I look at? The person who told us. Fourth, right? So when I have to know about, let's say this is my horoscope. I want to know about my next sibling. You call it brother, you call it sister, my younger brother or my younger sister. after me, I want to know about how his family life will be, how his family situation will be, how will he earn, right? So I will look into Kadaka. Now, give a close attention here. The third, Mithuna. The second from third becomes Kadaka. So the third's second becomes Kadaka. And obviously, what is happening here? He is afflicted owing to the aspect of Ketu. So when it comes to my younger siblings' family life, when it comes to my younger siblings earning, how will it be? See, I'm not telling you to write this down. I'm just telling you this in order to think and contemplate. How will it be? Will my younger siblings earning be good, or will my younger siblings earning be very, very less, very, very low?
Less.
Very, very less.
Low.
It will be very, very less. So this is how. Now, all of you, are you getting the idea on how to contemplate? All of you, are you getting an idea on how to contemplate?
Yes, sir.
I'm not telling you to write this
Yes,
down.
sir.
This is just for you to think. Right? All of this is something that I'm teaching you. But with this thought, you also need to actually go about and apply. Okay, let's look at another angle here. My wife is the seventh bhava. Or if I'm a girl, my husband, let's say I'm a girl now and this is my horoscope, right? My husband is the seventh bhava. Okay. Next, let us say my husband has a brother now. Which bhava will I look? My husband has a brother.
Ninth.
Dhanusha Rashi. Very good, very good, very good, very good. Now, you have to tell me something about my husband's younger brother. You have to tell me about my husband's younger brother. How will it be? How will my husband's younger brother be? Can you tell something about my husband's younger brother?
Same thing, whatever we
We'll
said.
have some bad habits.
All that we predicted for the father will apply. So can I say my husband's younger sibling will have some health issue, will have some health complication? Can I actually go about and tell all of that? Yes, or
sir.
no? Right.
Will face some danger.
Now, let us say, yeah, he will have danger. Basically, we can come to a conclusion that the spouse's younger sibling will have poor health. Can we come to a conclusion? Simple? All of you?
Yes.
Okay. Now, let us say my spouse's elder sibling. Where should I look now? Which Rashi?
Fifth house.
Leo.
Fifth house. Leo.
Fifth house. All right. So, the fifth house is Leo, the fifth house is Simha. How is the eighth from Simha Rashi? Meena Rashi, how is the eighth from Simha Rashi?
Afflicted. Afflicted.
How is the 10th from Simha Rashi?
Afflicted. Ketu
Afflicted by Ketu.
How is the 12th from Simha Rashi?
Afflicted again.
Influence of
So
Ketu.
if it is a younger sibling, I can come to a conclusion that the younger sibling, not my younger sibling, my wife's or my spouse's younger sibling will have poor health. If it is my wife's elder sibling or my spouse's elder sibling, what problem will this person have? 8th is afflicted, 10th is afflicted, 12th is afflicted. Where will the problem be? It is in the 10th only that Ketu is there. Now, what will happen?
Professionally problem.
He may not be there.
No problem. And
10th, first start with 10th. Adoption, all of that. But first start with the basic. 10th means what? Professional life will be a problem. Professional life will be a problem. See how we are taking one thing. So if it is a younger sibling, who spouse's younger sibling, Arogya. Here it is professional life. So just using 2 grahas alone, you can actually go about and give some amazing set of beautiful predictions that is unheard of, that is unimagined. And all of you should start doing that. See, the reason I'm taking that effort, I can just go on and on. I can just go and tell without allowing you to speak. But what is the use here? Till now, I was talking and you were listening. Till now, I was singing and you were listening to me. Irrespective of the fact that I have a very bad voice, still you managed with the song that I sang. But now onwards, with all your beautiful, sweet voices, you also need to start singing with me, right? It cannot be only listening always, right? So as we move to the 9th bhava, as we move to the 10th bhava, you should also sing along. Start something, whatever comes, you tell. Don't go without telling something. That is when, only when you open your mouth and talk, only when you cast a chart and then start talking or then start singing, that is when you will know where to go, how to direct yourself. Right? This is how it is. The reason I'm stressing on this here, or the reason rather I'm putting this effort here, is when somebody asks you a question, you should just not get scared or frightened. If you just have one graha, with that one graha itself, you can connect everything and go about and predict. You don't have to be like, frightened, thinking, which bhava, what bhava, this, that, nothing. One graha, two grahas itself can actually go about and give you an answer to everything and anything that you want to see in a horoscope. Right? And what are we basing our predictions here, at least from this point that we are talking about here? Simple. One Rahu in the Ashtama Bhava, one Ketu in the second Bhava. Look at what and all we predict. See, keep this in mind and write down a simple rule. Just put a note. Just put a note and write down. Rahu, even though he gives setbacks, difficulties, tribulations, Rahu, even though he gives setbacks, difficulties, tribulation, he will also give development. He will also give development. Why Rahu gives development? Because Rahu itself is what? Rahu itself is magnificent. Brahmanda, which means what? He's grand, he's big. This is for Rahu. Next, write down. In whichever Bhava Ketu is, in whichever Bhava Ketu is aspecting, one should not expect the phala too much from that bhava. Why too much? Should not expect it. Too much of expectation is extremely dangerous. It won't lead you anywhere. They should learn to let go of that. When I say let go of that, fifth bhava, I will let go of my child. Seventh, Kalatra, you go anywhere. I'm not bothered about you. That is not what I'm telling you. You should not expect too much from that person. Right? You should not put too much of hopes on that person. That will create problems. This is something that all of you need to know. Why? Because Ketu is indicative of dhana, dharma. Right? This is where it would direct itself. Right? So this is something that all of you should. Basically, what I'm telling here is, whichever bhava Ketu is associated with, when you say enough, this is more than enough, that itself will actually go about and create a huge amount of magic pertaining to that bhava. Let's say the fourth bhava is occupied by Ketu or aspected by Ketu. What should your mindset be? Till yesterday, I was living in a rented house. Now I've just moved on to my own house. It's a small house like a matchbox, but it's fine. I'm happy with it. I'm absolutely happy with it. This is more than sufficient for me. That should be the approach. Ketu in the lagna, Ketu aspecting the lagna. Whatever God is giving me, that's more than fine. But sir, you are extremely talented. You know this, you know that. People who hardly know anything, they're doing wonderfully well, better than you in life. This is enough for me. I'm happy with that. That will make you a very big man. That will give you great heights. All of you, are you able to understand? Yes. All of you?
Yes.
All of
Yes,
you.
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Point number
Sir,
18. Yeah.
Sir, just earlier about the elder sibling of the spouse. So from 5th, the 10th is Ketu. Means Ketu is in the 10th.
Right.
So if that person, I mean the elder sibling works, I mean his profession is related to Ketu, then will it still make some
Then it
problem?
won't disturb it. Then it won't disturb that much. But still,
Okay,
the
sir.
Karakatwa of Ketu will always be there. Oh yeah.
Okay,
They
some
will leave the
sort of
job.
disturbance. Okay, fine.
Yes.
Thank you,
Yes.
thank you, sir. Thank you.
Job will be a problem. Okay, all of you. Point number 18. Rahu in the 8th bhava will give rental income owing to food. Why? Because it is connected with the 6th bhava. Right. Now, since Rahu is connected with the 6th bhava, see, Rahu indicates something which is foreign to you. And now Rahu is connected with the sixth bhava, which indicates food. So what will be the food habit of this person? Number 19. This person will enjoy food away from their culture, foreign food, Chinese, right? It will be of Anya or different culture, Chinese food. If you're a South Indian, you will like North Indian. If you're a North Indian, you will like South Indian. So from a different culture. There's a Vadivelu comedy. Vadivelu goes to a small hotel, small mess somewhere in the village. And he will sit there and he will ask this person, the server, do you have burger? Do you have pizza? That server will tell, all we have is idli, dosa, vada. What is this idli, dosa, vada? Do something new, make something new. Make pizza, burger, like that. So their food, their taste, their food habits, their inclination towards food would be something which is foreign to their culture, right? That is point number 19. Point number 20. Okay. So now the Ashtama Bhava becomes the Ayul Sthana. So if Rahu is in the Ashtama Bhava, is there something to do with, dangers associated with Ayul? See, Rahu in the 8th does not necessarily afflict one's Ayul. Right? Why? Because Rahu is a Graha which is going to actually go about and rule 18 years. But nonetheless, there would be dangers. Nonetheless, there would be doshas associated with what? Sudden, unnatural events will happen. But nonetheless, something to do with Ayul dosha should not be predicted here. So this is for Rahu in the Ashtama Bhava. You'll find many people, Ketu in the 2nd Bhava, Rahu in the 8th Bhava. They will be into astrology. They will be into medicine. All of this will be there. Again, when I say there's something to do with the pension income, something to do with the government, politics, not everybody gets into all of that. But they will be linked somewhere with the people, or some people will have that. Also, you can write the next point number 21 or 20. There will be heredity occupation. Father did this, I'm continuing to do that. Grandfather did this, I'm also continuing to do that. So that also will be there. So once you get this practice, in order to go about and apply this, in order to go about and get predictions here, then immediately you will be able to create a beautiful set of predictions. Different set of predictions, a different style of prediction. And again, I'm repeating, whatever we are studying here is very generic. It's not that, when you predict, 10 people will say yes, 10 people will say no, but that is absolutely fine. But this is the route that you need to take in astrology. There's no other route. I'm not saying that, you cannot follow other route, but this is the right way, right style in order to go about it. So once you come up with this general set or this general style of prediction, you should go on repeating this. You should go on telling this to other people. And after that, you should do your research and you will know where to streamline with practice. Okay, this I should tell. No, I should not tell because of this. That would naturally come to you. And this is how you become a good astrologer. There is no shortcuts to it. Any shortcut is only going to lead you to a shortcut. Because you would easily find people, astrologers who've been practicing for 15 years, 30 years. Still now, they will be having some form of confusion or whatever. Still now, they will still be searching for something or the other pertaining to Jyotisha. So there is nothing in Jyotisha, there is nothing in astrology wherein a person can come to a conclusion and say that, you know what, I came, I learned, I applied, that's it, I know everything. No, somebody is telling that he is not mature, he is not a good astrologer, he does not know astrology itself, right? So it is a journey, it's a lifelong journey, it's a step-by-step journey, and every step is rewarding as long as you actually go about and approach it the right way, take it from the right source. And the best way to actually go about and use it once you get it from the right sources, practice, open your mouth and tell. Don't be frightened. What if it comes wrong? What if it is not correct? That is secondary. You have to tell. that is where you actually go about and apply, check, go about and modify. Right? Because there is nobody who can say that, you know what, I read this book, I read so many books, I've actually learned astrology for so many years, that's it, it's over. No. Whatever you have learned, you have to keep learning that again and again and again. That same book that you studied, you cannot say that, you know what, I studied this book in astrology, it's over, I know everything. No. That same book which you studied, which I do that also, that same book which I studied, I would read that again and again and again. And again, when you read, it will give you one answer which is so different from the answer that you actually thought about when you read it the first time. That is how beautiful it is. And all of you should be having that same experience as if you've read a good book. One book, the second time you read, the third time you read, the fourth time you read, every time it will give you the same, if every time it will give you a different answer. Sorry. Right? So that is how it is. So whatever you want, once you've understood the Kala Purusha, okay, Rahu in the 8th, connected to the 6th, can they do something to do with food related business? Yes, the answer is. It is not that, you know what, I am giving you a set of points and I'm saying I won't give you points beyond this. No, I should give you a set of points. And from there, you should also be able to come up with more points. That is when I am a good teacher. That is when I am able to actually go about and groom you. So you should be able to come up with easily 500 points. I may tell you 10 points, 20 points. It is not that I don't want to tell you more points. But if I tell you more and more, how are you going to come up with those 500 points? Right? So this is how it is. So food is second bhava. See, second is your mouth. After that, where the food goes, stomach, 5th. Then 6th, final, 8th. Right? So that is how you take the 6th for food also. Again, the 8th also, why it is connected. See, remember, it's very important here. That's the reason, you know, you have something called as the stool test or the fecal test, right? Because anything that you do is connected with the food that you eat. So all this is something that you need to keep in mind. Right? So now let's say you have Rahu or you have Ashubha Graha in the Ashtama Bhava. On top of that, there is one more Ashubha Graha. On top of that, there is another Ashubha Graha associated. Then you should be telling them to be careful. Let's say there is a Mars in the Ashtama Bhava. Mars in the Ashtama Bhava is any which way strong, but nonetheless he is a Ashubha Graha. Let's say there is another Shani, there is a Ketu associated here. Then immediately you should tell that, you know what, now this poisonous bite is there. Now something to do with Shani is also associated, Ketu is also associated. Then what happens? Something to do with, you know what, poisonous bites, something to do with, you know what, dog bites, all of this will be there. Keep this important point in mind and write down this point also. When the 8th bhava is afflicted, immediately you should ask this person, did this person go through a water-based danger, a ganda, a dosha associated with water? Else, at least did this person get lost somewhere? Did he go missing somewhere? This is this. So all of this will be there. So when the 8th bhava is associated with Rahu, Shani, then it immediately indicates something to do with poisonous bites. Now let's say 8th bhava is associated with Rahu, Shani, and let us say a Mandi is also associated. Now what will happen? Now it will be a poisonous bite. This poisonous bite won't be attended to properly and they will have some life-threatening danger. Like for example, what? A dog bites you, right? Not you means not exactly. A dog bites somebody. It is not attended to, right? What happens now? This person develops rabies. So Rahu in the 8th associated with Shani. Poisonous bite is there. Mandi is also connected. Let's say Mandi is also in the Ashtama Bhava. Then what would you tell? You would say that, you know what, you would have a poisonous bite that won't be unattended. Be careful. Or that won't be attended and be careful. Write down the next point. When the 8th bhava is occupied by Ashubha Grahas, even one Graha is enough, or If the 8th bhava is afflicted, the 8th bhava is afflicted, the person will experience fear. There will always be some fear associated with this person. They won't go alone anywhere. They won't go alone anywhere. Basically, they'll be fearful. Number 22. Continuation of Rahu in the Ashtama Bhava. In the mother's family or in the mother's Vamsa there would be people who have changed their religious beliefs. The 4th, 5th has a Rahu. The 4th, 9th is afflicted owing to the aspect of 2. All right. Next, all of you cast a chart. Before we cast a chart for Ketu in the Ashtama Bhava, any of you who have doubts pertaining to what is being discussed, any of you who have Rahu in the Ashtama Bhava, they also can go ahead and share. Go ahead, one by one.
Sir, just
Because even if you go to Tirunageshwaram, they are not going to allow you to pour milk or whatever to the plate. They are just going to collect on your behalf. You can just sit there. That is a power spot for Rahu. But nearby your place, wherever there is a temple dedicated to a goddess, especially if it has a snake pit, it's like an anthill. The anthill is occupied by the snake. That's how it is, no? There, if they, with not any anthill on the roadside, where they are offering worship, there, Purnima Tithi, tell them to offer tender coconut, milk, put some turmeric. Most importantly, sit there for some time. Mind will become clear as they go from one Paurnami to another Paurnami. That's how it is. Okay. This is for everybody they can do. Right? Especially girls who are not getting married, girls who are having problems pertaining to women who are having problems pertaining to the uterus. They should all do that irrespective of Rahu in the 8th Bhava or whatever. Okay. Okay, let's continue. Ketu in the 8th Bhava. All of you cast a horoscope. And continuing with the thing that somebody asked about fear, whether it is a boy or a girl, too much of fear is gripping you. See if there is if you can actually have a seawater bath, preferably in a place where there is it is considered as a Punya Sthala or it is of religious importance, like for example, Rameshwaram. Now, not all of you can go every time to such places. So what you can do is, you can take a little bit of rock salt, not the regular salt, okay? Once a while, rock salt, mix it in water and have a bath. So that will also give you will reduce this anxiety and fear and all of that you feel. Ketu, the Ashtama Bhava. All of you cast a horoscope. Okay. So Rahu would be here. Obviously, you're just going to interchange. Okay. So now Rahu would aspect Kadaka, Rahu would aspect Meena. 4, 12. Let me mark that also for you. And you have Ketu here. He would aspect the 6th. He would aspect the 10th. Okay. So now, what is the conclusion that all of you would make? Conclusion, Sir, Rahu in the 8th Bhava, at least we had some good points. But now we have Ketu in the 8th Bhava. So all the good things that you told, the little bit of good things that we told, like, you know what, heredity, profession, all this will be a problem. No, that is not the way you should approach Ketu. Of course, I've told you about Rahu and Ketu in a small note that I gave, but I want you all to take another. Right? Immediately when you see Ketu, one should not be fearful. There is nothing fearful about Ketu. Okay, but before we go there, all of you, if Ketu is in the Ashtama Bhava, where would he aspect? Where would he aspect, all of you? Ketu is in the Ashtama Bhava.
8th
And if
Bhava.
Ketu is in the 8th Bhava, where would Rahu be and where would he aspect? Very good, very good.
12th Bhava and 4th Bhava.
12th Bhava and 4th. Very, very, very good. Now, all of you write a small note about Ketu first. Now, where does the nakshatra of Ketu start? Where does the nakshatra of Ketu start?
Ashwini.
Ashwini.
In which Rashi does it start?
Mesha.
Very okay. Where are the Ketu nakshatras?
159.
Mesha, Simha, Dhanush.
159 Mesha, Simha, Dhanusha. Right? So the trines are occupied by Ketu. All of you pay attention here. The trines, which signify your name, which signify your fame, which signify government, which signify politics, which signify development. Right? This is where the Ketu nakshatras are occupied. That is 159. So write down, based on this rule, when Ketu is associated with Shubha Grahas, when Ketu is associated with Shubha Grahas, what do we mean by association here? Conjunction. That is an association. We are not even using the word combination here. Conjunction, that also you take as association. Or aspected by Shubha Graha. This is one point. Second, when the Lord of the house in which Ketu is attains strength. Ketu is in one house. The Lord of the house attains strength. This is second point. This is not and, this is or. So when Ketu is associated with Shubha Grahas, or when the Lord of the Rashi in which Ketu is attains strength, second point, or when the Nakshatra Adhipati, bracket, star Lord, in which Ketu is attains strength, when the Nakshatra Adhipati in which Ketu is positioned, placed in, attains strength. In this, any one point, in this three, any one point, if one has in the horoscope, this person will attain fame, name in government, politics, or spirituality, or medicine, or astrology. All of you, do you want me to repeat? When Ketu is associated with Shubha Grahas, or the Rashi Lord in which Ketu is placed attains strength, or the star Lord in which Ketu is positioned attains strength, one of them is enough, right? They will be super duper. They will attain fame, name in politics, government, spirituality, religion, medicine, astrology. In bracket, you put 1 or 2. In 1 or 2 of these fields, they will attain 200 out of 200 marks. This is the power of Ketu. Immediately, nobody has to be frightened about Ketu. Ketu is the grida, the crown that is placed on top of your head. That is the reason we connect Ketu with what? The hair. So Ketu is very, very important. Right? Can we look into a chart, or can I give you an example way to look at it, all of you? The only problem is, okay, now I'm not considering the lagna here. Any which ways, I will add the lagna for the convenience of people in the northern part of India. Put Ketu in Dhanu in 15 degrees. Ketu is in Dhanusha in 15 degrees. Now all of you tell me, Ketu is in which nakshatra?
Purvashada.
Ruled by whom?
Venus.
Shukra.
Now, put Shukra in Tula Rashi. Put Shukra in Tula Rashi. So now all of you tell me, the star lord in which Ketu is positioned, is he strong or is he weak?
He's strong.
Why is he strong? He is in his own sign.
Own sign.
So you should tell, in this field, what field? Medicine, astrology, spirituality, religion, politics, government. In this one or two fields, this person will attain strength. Okay. Now you can ask me this question, but let's say this person has a Mesha Lagna. Okay. Let's keep an example. Let's say this person has a Mesha Lagna here. And let us say now, let's say Ketu is now. So now let us say Ketu is in the 9th bhava. Okay, good. Now, the 7th Lord Shukra, right? We have the 7th Lord. Sorry, in the 7th bhava, we have Shukra. Shukra also becomes the 7th bhava Lord, right? And we are also talking about what? Ketu associated with Shukra, right? The 7th bhava Lord is Shukra and Ketu is afflicting Shukra. So now you can ask me this question, sir, but what would happen? Something to do with the married life of this person. There can be a delay in marriage. There can be a love marriage. There can be problems pertaining to marriage. That is a different department. What I'm telling is that is separate. What I'm telling here is, irrespective of that, this fame pertaining to these departments will be there. Are you able to get my point? This is what is associated with Ketu. So whenever you see Ketu, you should also look into what it is able to contribute, because you will find people with this type of a combination, right? They could be a collector of a big district, but they would be unmarried, right? Collector is what? That is a big position. So this is what Ketu is capable of doing. There could be a number one astrologer in your area. He will also be unmarried, or he will be having problems with his married life. This could be the combination here. So this is how it is. Which also applies for Parivartana. Let's say there is Guru, Ketu, and there is a Nakshatra Parivartana between Guru and Ketu. So you should tell. Here also there is yoga. Why? Because Guru is associated with Ketu. The problem pertaining to child, problem pertaining to money, finances, all of this will be there at one stage in his life. But somewhere or the other, this person will attain fame in this field, one or more of this field. Right. Another point associated with Ketu before we move into the Ketu in the 8th bhava, right? Another point. Write down. When Ketu is in the nakshatra of Sun or in the house of Sun, which is Simha Rashi, else, if Ketu is in the nakshatra of Guru or along with Guru or in Dhanu Rashi or in the house of Guru, like Meena Rashi. In this family, there will be people who are having the same name or born in the same nakshatra, having the same lagna or same rashi, birth in the same month. There will be 3 people or 2 people in this family who are born with the same name, same nakshatra, or same lagna, or same rashi, or they would be born on the same month. So their father, their grandfather, somebody is born along with them. They will share the same nakshatra. They will share the same rashi. This will keep occurring in the family. Some people frequently say, sir, in my family, many people are born during the month of Shravana. Many people are born during the month of Ashadaha. Right? So you will find this combination here. So this is how Ketu actually goes about and contributes to a horoscope. So that is how it is. Next point. Since we have covered this, let's also cover that also. Mercury, Guru, Sun. Write down Mercury, Guru, Sun. Mercury, Guru combination. Conjunction also applies. Mercury, Sun combination. Conjunction. Sun in the house of Mercury. Mercury in the house of Sun. Those who have this combination also, Mercury Guru or Mercury Sun, or Mercury in the house of Sun, Sun in the house of Mercury. You can take nakshatra also by. If it is like this, again in this family, 2 or 3 people will be sharing the same nakshatra, same rashi, or same name, or would have been born in the same month. It also applies, for example, if Mercury is in the nakshatra of Sun, Sun is in the nakshatra of Mercury. So this is how it is. They will also say, sir, I was born during the month of Ashada. In my family, the other person was also born during the month of Ashada. The logic here is Mercury indicates duality. Sun, Guru, this indicates what? Your name. Why? Because Sun and Guru, they rule the trines. They rule the 5th and the 9th. We are not considering the first. Why? Because it is common. Sun and Guru, they rule the trines. So what happens here? 5, 9. So automatically there will be 2 or 3 people sharing the same name, sharing the same nakshatra. Why? Because the 5 and 9 indicates your name, nakshatra, fame, all of that. There will be people. Somebody would say, my father's name is Muniandi, my grandfather's name is Muniandi, my name is also Muniandi. Like that. These are points that you won't find in any books. How many ever books you go through, you won't find these type of points. You can go on and search it. I'm giving you this because I want you to develop your skills. I want you to hone yourself as a good astrologer, develop as a good astrologer, and most importantly, go and teach other people, go and better other people's life as well. So that is how it is. So as you go ahead and apply, you would be able to get some beautiful things also associated with the results. Next. And most importantly, apply all the remedies that is being taught to you. See, just because you asked, you told, I can give you countless examples, right? Sometimes I've stopped sharing the testimonies also because where is the time to cut that testimony, put that in, share it with you, share it in this, all these social media space. I don't even do that. But every week, people who attend the Parihara course, somewhere or the other, they keep sharing. Simple things like, using the tamarind seed, going to a temple which is on the outskirts, temple of a guardian deity and throwing it away. They get money worth lakhs and crores from people who have to return that money back to them. So if at all people consider that as, something which is insignificant, none of it would have happened. Even if you consider it as insignificant also, tell the other people to do. There is nothing small, there is nothing big. Because the more and more you prescribe, that is when you would be surprised, because the people who you prescribe, I'm talking about real-time examples, especially if you're prescribing as an astrologer, they will come back to you, they will shower you with gifts. Not that I'm telling you to do all of this for gifts, no. But you will see, how they treat you just by the simple things that you tell them to do, which actually sorts out their problems. So always keep this in mind. Whenever you're giving something to somebody in the form of remedy, even in the form of prediction, all that you need to do is, whichever guru, whoever I consider as my guru, I should actually go about and give my respects to him. Good. Whoever is my Kula Devata or who is my Ishta Devata, I should give my respect and love and regards to him. These are the 2 people, or most importantly, it is your deity who you worship, or it is the divine form that you connect with. That is guiding you. With that you talk, with that you give, and things will come into place. Okay. Let's move to Ketu in the Ashtama Bhava, or Ketu in Vrishchika. Okay. Right. Number one, will have litigation. Number 2, will have a financial litigation, else a family dispute, will have a financial litigation or a family dispute. Number 3, mostly it will involve partnership, spouse, like that. Giving to somebody, owing to that, they will have problem. Taking from somebody, they will have problem. Number 3, their udyoga, profession, will be dissatisfactory. Why? Because it is aspecting the 6 and 10. Number 4, those who are doing own business, will face duress. Duress means difficulty, owing to loan, else owing to their employees, and they will attain wisdom owing to that. Their employees will teach them a lesson, they will drag them to court, or they will put them into problem, or owing to taking loans, they will face problem, and finally they will gain wisdom out of them. Number 5. Before that, after they gain wisdom, after that they will attain fame in their work. That also you should add. I'm sorry, I forgot to put that point. Again, they will attain fame. So once that wisdom comes to them, then using that they will attain fame. Number 5. There would be small arguments, quarrels between the husband and wife. 7th, second is occupied by Ketu. Rahu in the second bhava. The native will speak more than one language. Number 7. You won't speak one language. At least more than one language they will speak. Number 7. In the beginning, their talks will be grand. Their talks will be big. Their talks will be fast. The rate of speech will be very fast. When they started, when they finished, you won't know. Right? So the rate of speech will be fast. In the later stages of life, their speech will become simple. Their speech will become slow. Why? Because first is Rahu in the second, then is Ketu. So first speed, quick, big. Then after that, what happens? After that, there is wisdom, there is knowledge. Speech will be steady, slow, even, simple. All this is something that will happen. Number 8. Will have Vahana, vehicle. Will have land, property. Why? Because Rahu in the second bhava. Okay, so Rahu is in the second bhava, so they will also make income out of their town, away from their town, going outside. Number 10. Will earn owing to interest, EMI, fixed deposit, EMI, not fixed deposit, EMI basically, interest related income. Number 13. There will be involvement in the field of textile, software, teaching. So somebody in the family will be a teacher, will be into textiles, will be into software. Number 12. Astrology, medicine will be very good for them. They will have, number 13, they will have hair fall related issue, hair related problem. See, why did I tell this interest-related income? It's based on Rahu. Rahu in the second. Rahu is the collector. He collects. It's just like the snake who goes right in the night. He goes and collects his food here. That's the way it is. So something to do with interest, something to do with EMI, bit by bit, collecting money here and there. Number 14, marketing agent, all that we consider. Number 14. Owing to vacant plot, they will have gains. Here also, number 15. Mother will have putra dosha. Mother will have putra dosha. Number 16. The unity between the father and mother will be less. Else, the father and mother will belong to a different samudaya. Intercaste marriage, right? Intercommunity marriage. So there we spoke about hair. Here also we are speaking about hair. Why did we speak about hair fall? Ketu indicates hair. He is in the Dursthana. He is in the hidden houses. So there is hair fall. So write down. Ketu denotes hair. When Ketu is in hidden houses, or if he gets into Tithi Shunya, they will have hair fall related issues. Some people, if they apply dye itself, they will get allergic. Why? Because Ketu indicates hair. It is getting into the hidden houses. You'll find young people, for example, there's a 20-year-old small girl doctor. She's having continuous
Sir,
problems.
please repeat this point again. Sir,
Entire
please repeat this point again.
Write down point. Ketu indicates hair. When Ketu is in hidden houses, or if it gets into Tithi Shunya, it leads to hair or hair fall related issues. Even if they dye their hair, they will have problems. Ketu indicates hair. Young people, 20-year-old girls, especially for girls, it's very, very difficult. No? They will have issues pertaining to hair fall. This is how it is. What is the remedy? Okay. What you can do is you can tell them to go for natural treatment. Anything which is like naturopathy, natural form of treatment that will suit them. Or if you're not bothered about hair fall itself, or if you're not bothered about your hair itself, that will sort itself out. If you don't give attention to it, that itself will sort itself out. Tonsuring one's head. Tonsuring one's head. In young age, they take you to temples. And as you grow older, they tonsure. They offer head to the god. That is why? Because you offer it, considering the fact that, you know what, there would be growth. There would be growth in one's life. Watching bear. B-E-A-R, bear. Watching bear used to happen during those times. If you had, the old timers, you would know. In your colony, in your street, somebody will come. They will bring a bear. They will give amulets. Right? All of that used to happen. Any of you, do you remember that? They used to bring bears. Live bear, I'm telling you.
Yes, sir.
Why? Because bear is
it.
equal to Ketu.
Bear
Why?
and monkey.
Bear is equal to Ketu. Why bear is equal to Ketu? Bear, does he have hair all over the body?
Lots of hair.
Lots of hair.
Yes.
So bear is equal to Ketu. Each and everything is linked. I'll give you one example, not related to the topic. A person is coming and telling, sir, a very close relative of mine. He keeps coming to my house. He eats in my house. 2 times, 3 times he eats every day. But he is going and talking ill about other people to me. Now, how to avoid him, sir? Simple remedy. Right? You tell him to come to the house regularly. He's eating food in your house, very, very good. But every time you serve him brinjal, curry made of brinjal, whatever, vegetable made of brinjal. The more and more you serve him brinjal, what happened to this person? The person who used to come regularly to his house, he stopped coming to his house. What is the logic? Brinjal in Tamil. What do we call it in Tamil? Anybody in Tamil Nadu, please tell me. Brinjal. What do we call in Tamil?
Katrika.
Kattirikai. Kattirika means what? Kattirikai, kattirikol. Kattiri means what? Kattiri means to cut. So it will cut. Right? It will cut the relationship. Of course, I'm aware of the fact that in some parts in the northern part of India, especially when we are proceeding towards something to do with a marriage, there would be something to do with the delicacy associated with brinjal. It's different. Why? Because brinjal, kattirikai. Kattirikai is not Ketu, by the way. Kattirikai, the sound is Ketu, scissor. But kattirikai is Mars, or brinjal is Mars or Mangala. So keeping that as an association, they would do that. But regularly feeding brinjal will spoil the relationship, because towards the end, whether you are in Africa or whether you are in Antarctica, there would be a root etymology associated with the word that would remain the same. So if you don't like somebody, if you don't want that person to visit you frequently, he's creating problems for you, regularly feed him brinjal, he won't come back to you. That's it. All this is there. Okay. So this is about it. Now, since we are covering Rahu in the Ashtama Bhava, Ketu in the Ashtama Bhava, a common question that can come, especially people those who have attended the marriage matching masterclass, right? So they say Rahu in the second Bhava or Ketu in the second Bhava, mostly it leads to a late marriage. Right? They get married late. The idea is, yes, it qualifies for a Nagadosha. This is one part. Okay. But here, the moment you see a Rahu or a Ketu in the second Bhava, Ashtama Bhava obviously, then obviously you consider that as a Nagadosha and you combine it with a Nagadosha horoscope. That is all that you need to do. You don't have to amplify this too much. But what it means is, see, for example, when you see Rahu, Ketu in the second Bhava, the thing that you need to predict is, in the sthana of earning, you have the Sarpagrahas. So what it means is that till the time you settle down in life, I'm not even talking about marriage here, till the time you settle down in life, right, you can be or you can stay in a rented accommodation, in a rented place. Why? Because Rahu Ketu don't own this. So till the time you have some form of a development or the other, be away from your hometown, be in a rented accommodation, be in a rented place. This is one thing. Now, another thing that you need to understand here is, one Graha, one of the Sarpa Graha is in your second Bhava, right? The other Sarpa Graha is in your wife's or your spouse's second Bhava. Which means if one person is talking fast, if one person is talking too much, the other person should learn to keep quiet. The other person should learn to listen, or at least act like she's listening, or not talk in that same speed, in that same way, with that same harshness that the other person is talking. Then you know what, their family life, that would automatically become smooth. So for one person it is Ketu, the other person is Rahu. So for other person, if it is Rahu, that person would tend to talk too much, he would tend to talk big, he would tend to talk fast. So the other person who has the Ketu here on this side, she should or he should obviously go slow in their speech. So this is how it is. So these are the things that you should keep in mind, especially when you consider the Nagadosha, or instead of looking at it as a Nagadosha, what is it? What is the problem it creates? What is the barrier that it? The simple way to look at it is a Nagadosha, combine it with a Nagadosha. So this is how it is. Okay. Write down Rahu, Ketu. They are considered as Chaya Grahas, shadow planets. Am I correct? Okay. Write down. If Rahu or Ketu are in the first bhava or the second bhava, in front of their house or near their house, there will be a tree. Anybody who has Rahu in the first or the second, some of you told, you can tell. In front of their house, there will be a tree. Near the house, there will be a tree. If there is no tree, it is good to plant a tree. It will give them goodness. Why? Because Rahu, Ketu are considered as shadow grahas. What does a tree do? It gives you shadow. Right? This is a simple thing that you can recommend and you can also do. Remember, I told there would be gains owing to vacant land, empty plot, when we were discussing about Ketu in the Ashtama Bhava. Rahu is in the second, which is what? In Rishabha, which is an earthy sign. Ketu is in the 8th, and he is aspecting what? The 6th, he is aspecting the 10th, again, earthy signs. So obviously there is something to do with property here. But here, I want you all to tell me, is it good? We are talking about Ketu in the Ashtama Bhava. Is it good for them to have a big property or is it good to have a small property? Any one of you?
Small property.
Small property.
Why small property?
Ketu. They will have small property.
Ketu is small and it also small pieces.
But Rahu is aspecting 4th, na? They should have a big property.
Big, sir.
They should have big
Big,
property.
sir.
If they have big property, what will happen? Okay, let me just connect.
Loan, sir. Loan.
Okay. Just let me connect. Okay, write down. I will explain that to you. It is good for them to actually have small properties or buy small properties. Okay, here. Right. Now you have Ketu in the Ashtama Bhava, right? He's aspecting 2 earthy signs. Right? So if they buy small properties, what will happen or what will be the result of having small properties? They will get big income owing to accumulating small properties. Write down. When Ketu is in the Ashtama Bhava, when they buy small properties here and there, small little properties here and there, then it will give them big development. It will give them big money. It will give them big development, big money. If you go the other way around, here to there, then it will lock them. It will create problems for them. By the way, this also applies for those who have Rahu also in the Ashtama Bhava. Now let's say Rahu is in the Ashtama Bhava. Right? And Ketu is in the second Bhava. Right? And just because you say Rahu is in the 8th Bhava, aspecting the 10th, aspecting the 6th. Now, if you tell them buy big properties, why? Because Rahu indicates big. What will happen to them? All of you, what will happen to them? It will create problems for them.
Problems in the profession.
Income will shrink.
Income will shrink. It will create problems. But let us say, see, Rahu is in the Ashtama Bhava. He's aspecting the 6th. He's aspecting. Even if they get the possibility of buying big property, which they will, you should tell that while selling it off, you should make that property into small portions. Partition that property, small bits and pieces, and sell. So this is the way you should apply logic. Okay? Basically, you can tell buy small properties here and there, and you will get growth. See, it's very simple. Okay, when it comes to land, a person will come with 100 acres of land. He will have documents worth 100 acres of land. He would say, I have documents worth 100 acres of land. 100 acres of land means what? How many crores it will go? Another person will say that, you know what? I have these many acres of land. I have 20 acres of land, 30 acres of land. This is in the prime locality in the city or the town. Both of them are great. But another person will come, you know what? I have hard cash 10 lakh rupees. Now, who is a greater amongst them? If you actually look at it, this person, his value, who has this 10 lakhs right hard cash with him, he is important. Always remember, there should always be some liquid asset, liquid money. You should have money in the liquid form. Right? Everything cannot be put into investment. For emergencies, for certain immediate purposes, one needs to have money as well. Right? So when it comes to properties, you will find people who have properties who are not able to sell, who have big properties, even if they are selling, they are not able to get the right price. So you should connect the dots. Right? So Ketu in the Ashtama Bhava, we are done. Any questions? Anybody who wants to share, we share. Else we would move on to 8th Lord in the Lagna. PX 1177. Go ahead. All of you cast a horoscope. Eighth Lord in Lagna, in the Lagna. Or for those who have Mars in Mesha. See, we discussed Mars and Mesha in PAX 4, Mars in the Lagna. That is one set of prediction. Now another set of prediction. So we're going as per the Kala Purusha. Now here there has to be some modification, some ramification when you actually go about and predict. So Mars is in the Lagna, which is the Ashtamadhipati is in the Lagna. You need to remember that. So we are predicting as per the Kala Purusha. So we are considering Mars here. So if Mars, the Ashtamadhipati is in the Lagna, the Kala Purusha's Ashtamadhipati is in the Lagna, where would he aspect, all of you? First, I want you to keep this in mind. Don't immediately go to the 4 and 8. The 4 and 8 are there. But the immediate aspect, because all of you would have different Ashtamadhipatis. So what is the first thing that should be prioritized? All of you?
7.
7. Right? Small difference has to be here. Right? So first 7. Then we are also going to actually consider the 4 and 8. But majority of it should be here. Right? So for all those who have the 8th Lord in the Lagna. Okay. So if the 8th Lord is in the Lagna, where would he aspect? He would aspect the 7th. At the back of the mind, the 4 and the 8 should also play its part. But here the focus is going to be on the 7th. Why, sir, the focus is on the 7th? Obviously, because different people will have different Ashtamadhipatis. This is one. But it is also to come into, at least in the first level, a finite or a precise rate of prediction. This is what we are trying to do here. That is the whole purpose of whatever you are learning. Right? So write down the Jataka. Right? The Jataka will be away from one's town. Away from one's town, which is out of town, or will be interested in foreign relations. I want to go to this country, I want to go to that country, I'm working in a bank which is involved into this, I'm working in this software company, whatever, something. Wherever there is something to do with foreign relations, it would interest him. 8th Lord is in the Lagna. Write down number 2. Will be research oriented. Will be research oriented. Number 3. A family where there is pension income, retirement allowance, either they or somebody in the family will be having some form of a pension income. Number 4. Will have knowledge about medicine. Knowledge about medicine. In this family, point number 5, there will be a putra dosha. Basically, what I'm telling is they will have a putra dosha. Like that, you cannot go bluntly. In this family, that's how you should go. They will have a putra dosha, which means somebody would say that, yeah, I had a miscarriage, my wife had a miscarriage. Somebody would say no. Then immediately you should say, then what about your brother? Did he have something to do with did he lose a child? Is he having problem pertaining to child? Yes. So first them and then the family, right? Next. Number 6, will have skin related ailment. Will have skin related ailment. Number 7, will have urinary problem. Will have urinary problem. The 8th lord is in the lagna, aspecting the 7th. Right? Urinary problem. Number 8, a few of them will have delayed marriage. 8th lord in the lagna, 8th in the lagna, aspecting the 7th. So, delay in marriage. But now you also need to keep this in mind. He is the Mangala Karaka. He indicates your blood. He indicates what? Your group, your people, your kith and kin. So write down. For many of them, point number 9, few of them will have delayed marriage. Ashtamadhipati aspecting the 7th. But Mars, Mangala, right? Point number 9. Many of them will have marriage amongst their close circle. Marriage amongst their close circle. Ashtamadhipati is aspecting the 7th. So, write down. Number 10. Will have differences of opinion with their spouse, else their partner. Else their partner. So they will have differences of opinion with their wife, or they will have differences of opinion with their partner, business partner, friend, partner. Number 11. A few of them, for the purpose of earning, will be separated from the family. The Ashtamadhipati is in the lagna. From the Ashtamadhipati, he is in the 6th, aspecting the 7th. Separated from the spouse, separated from the wife, for the purpose of udyoha or earning. Number 7. Number 12. The native or the jataka, will face litigation, accident. The native or jataka will face a litigation or accident. Number 13. Will undergo a surgery. Will undergo a surgery. Number 14. Will have eye ailment, else will be wearing spectacles. Will have eye ailment, else will be wearing spectacles. Their spouse, wife or husband. Point number 15. Their spouse will have poor health, will incur medical expenses, will undergo a surgery, else will have a chronic ailment. Will have a chronic ailment, which means continuously they will be taking some medicine or the other. Who? Spouse. So somebody would say, my wife has diabetes, continuous medication. Somebody would say, my wife gets fits suddenly. Somebody would say, they have cancer. Right? Don't tell cancer, fits, all that. Tell spouse will have continuous medication. Some medical expenses will be there continuously. Yes, sir. That's it. That much only you should tell. Number 16. Putra dosha will be for the Jataka native or for the native's sibling. Similarly, there will be some form of a pension income, deposit income in this family. Number 18. Owing to the second child, they will have mental concern. The parents will have mental concern. What does it mean? They will have disappointments, difficulties owing to the second child. What do you mean by disappointment, sir? One, either the child would be late born child, very late, too much of gap between the first and the second child, or the child will have health issue. The child will have health issue. Number 19, the Jataka will escape a water danger, ganda, dosha pertaining to water. The seventh bhava, considering what we just spoke before, no, about the second child. The seventh bhava indicates your second child. So the second child, that's the reason I do. Ashtamadipati aspecting the seventh bhava. The Jataka will have danger pertaining to water. Number 20. A few of them won't desire to get married. You will say, what is the hurry for me to get married? I am just 32 years old. Okay, 32 is also common these days, right? Okay, I am just 40 years old, 39 years old. Right? Do it slowly. I'll wait for some more years. Not wait for some more years. You'll become uncle after that. Or some people would just boldly say, I don't want to get married. Do it slowly. Do it later. Like that, a few of them will be there. Ashtamadipati aspecting the seventh. Number 21. In this family, there would be a Vrishchaka Rashi, Vrishchaka Lagna. Ashtama Bhava. It indicates what? The scorpion. So Vrishchaka will be there in this family. Number 22. Will have skin ailment. So Ashtamadipati in the Lagna, skin ailment will be there. Number 23. If Shani or Rahu are associated, will have a poisonous bite. Number 24. The mother will have gains from the government, or the mother gains from the government means she will be drawing salary from the government, right? She will be a government employee, or will get allowance from the government. Some allowance will come to her. Next. Number 25. The father will be a religious, spiritual person. Number 27. they will be apart from their family. So either they would be separated from the father or separated from the. Number 28. Will have unnecessary fear. Ashtamadhipati in the lagna. Will have unnecessary fear. Next. Will have connection, number 29, with government or politics. Somebody will be there, either their friend, their partner. Somebody will be there in government or politics. Owing to customers, they will have dissatisfaction. They will disappoint their customers, or the customers will get disappointed because of them. Both of them mean one. Number 31. If the 5th, 9th, or the 11th lords, if the 5th, 9th, or 11th lords are associated, they will be in big position in their profession, in some profession. So Ashtamadhipati in the lagna, if you see it connected with the 5, 9, or 11, you can tell whatever job you are in, whatever profession you are in, some profession you will get into a big position. Full stop. 100 out of 100 marks. Number 32. If the lagna lord attains strength, Ayul Bala. Now don't tell if the lagna lord loses strength, they will die fast. No. Point number 33. If the lagna lord loses strength, they will go missing somewhere, sometime in their life. Suddenly they will get lost somewhere. That's all. Lost means literally getting lost. Or what, he went to Delhi. For a long time he didn't speak to his family members, to his relatives. That is also getting lost. Next, point number 34. 34. You will find many people those who have the Ashtamadhipati in the lagna, in the field of astrology, in the field of medicine, and they will be famous. So those who have, see, now it is not that I'm only predicting for the 8th Bhava Lord in the lagna. Whenever you see the 8th one connect in the horoscope in some form or the other, the 8th Lord is aspecting the lagna. The 8th Lord and the lagna Lord are together, right? Somewhere, whenever you see the connection also, you can go with this prediction. It will come bang on. So since it is aspecting the 7th Bhava, that is why I told you problems owing to what? Partners, problems owing to the second child, problems owing to Sambandhi. Somebody is saying, no, the relationship between me and my wife is very good. No, my son is healthy. He got married. He's now 45 years old, or he's now 60 years old. What will you tell? You should tell me, owing to your Sambandhi, you will have problem, or you would have had problem. So this is how it is. So let us say the lagna lord, and see here, the Ashtamadhipati is in the lagna, so it is connected. Right? But let us say somewhere else, the Ashtamadhipati and the lagna lord are somewhere. But still, that 8-1 connection is there, correct? So you would have to write down all the points discussed will apply for those who have Mesha Rashi, Mesha Lagna, which means as long as you have Mesha Rashi, Mesha Lagna, all these points would apply to you. Even Mesha Lagna, you can apply these points for them. All these points will also apply for Tula Rashi, Tula Lagna. Just tell these points. Tula Rashi, Tula Lagna. That's it. I don't know anything. I don't know how to navigate with this horoscope. You start with this. That's it. Enough. Mesha Rashi or Mesha Lagna. Somebody comes to you. Go and predict. That is evidence. So here, why did I tell separation from the father and mother? In the 8th Bhava, who gets debilitated? Moon gets debilitated. He is aspecting the seventh bhava where sun gets debilitated. So separation from the father and mother, eye-related problem, or they will wear spectacles. Why did I tell sudden luck, especially 5, 9, 11 are associated? The 8th in general itself means sudden luck. So when it's associated with 5, 9, 11, even if it is not associated with 5, 9, 11 also, Ashtamadhipati is in the lagna. The pluses are also there, minuses are also there, the pluses are also there. So getting Binami property, write down point number 34 or 35, whichever it is. Binami property, big positions, big job, big business, big buildings, jobs which involve big buildings, working in big buildings. You know, a few people work in these big buildings, no? Big software company, big buildings like that. All will be there. Eye-related problem, I told you why eye-related problem is there. Moon, sun is the Karaka Graha for your eyes. So this is how it is. See, 8th bhava indicates putra dosha. So the moment you see, anytime when we are covering the 8th bhava, this putra dosha as such will keep coming. So what is putra dosha? It could just be a late child, a delayed child, or a child, who's born but who's having some form of a deformity or the other. So wherever the 8th bhava is, in that vamsa, you should keep in mind there is something to do with the putra dosha. So 1-8 connection, what is the profession that you should suggest for them? Secret service, medicine, intelligence service, astrology, research, right? All this will be top class for them. Next, write down, note, special note. When the Ashtamadhipati attains strength, the 8th bhava lord attains strength, or if the 8th from moon attains strength, so you check where moon is in the horoscope, the 8th from moon, that is strong. Right? Then the Ashtama Shani period will give them progress. Ashtama Shani won't do them harm. It won't give them harm. It won't give them difficulties. It will only give them progress. Why? Because the 8th bhava is attaining bala. So if the Ashtamadhipati is strong or the 8th from moon is strong, you see during the Ashtama Shani Kala, they will be actually going about and coming up with great progress. All of you written that down? All of you? See, the reason I'm telling you this is very, very important, okay? Because you will find people, Ashtama Shani, they will be coming up in life. They will be building their house. They will be settling in their job. They'll be getting married. Another person will have difficulty. So what is the difference here? Oops. So that's how it is. Anybody has any doubt? Please raise your hands.
Sir, what is Ashtama Shani?
Ma'am, Ashtama Shani from the moon when Shani transits in the 8th.
Okay, understood.
Just like how you have the 7.5 cycle of Shani, Ashtama Shani is.
Got it, sir. Thank you.
GMIA.
Yes, Guruji, my question was pertaining the same. What is Ashtama Shani? But I got my answer. Thank you.
PX 12, 15.
Sir, question is regarding that if Lagna Lord in the Mars Nakshatra, that all points will be.
Yes, you can take.
Okay, thank you.
Next. Anybody else? Yeah, go ahead. PX 12, 21.
Namaste, sir. I have two questions.
Go ahead, ma'am.
The first one is I understand the point of unnecessary fear because the 8th Lord is in Lagna, so fear of unknown sitting on the head. How does that work when Mars is in Aries? Because Mangal Bhagwan is the significator of courage and valor. How will that play out?
We will overcome that. That is, we have discussed Mars in the Lagna. That is separate. But this will also be there.
Okay, all right. And then So the second one would be again the same way of discriminating it. Native will face litigation or accident. I understand 8th house lord in the lagna, but if it is, we're taking it from the perspective of Mars in Aries, then can we say that yes, the accident litigation would be there, but the native would be able to come out of it?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
But
Thank
also
you so
you should
much.
look at the other grahas connected domain that will increase or decrease the predictions
Yes.
in terms
I
of
get
coming out of it.
Yes. Thank you.
Anybody else? Any other question? See, whatever points I have given you, you have any doubts pertaining to why did you tell this point, sir? Why did you tell that point, sir? That's when you would be able to build the predictions further. Right? Again, see, Mars in the Lagna we have covered. Because when I was covering Mars in the Lagna, remember, all of you, for those who have not covered, you can cover that. So when you're predicting for Mars in the Lagna, it is not just that you're predicting a Graha is in that Bhava. What happens in that Bhava? Like for here, Ashtamadipati. It is in the Ashtamasthana that moon gets debilitated. So with this quality, he's traveling somewhere. So now when you're predicting separately for Mars in the Lagna, let's say we're just talking about Lagna, secrets of the Lagna Bhava. So now Mars is in the Lagna, where Sun gets exalted, where Shani gets debilitated. So these 2 points are considered while predicting, right? He is aspecting the 7th Bhava, where Sun is debilitated, Shani is exalted. That is the point that was considered there. This should not be confused here. I should not tell you this here. Otherwise, that will be a hodgepodge. Now, Ashtamadipati in the Lagna. What does it mean? Right. Okay. Anybody else? Any other question? Okay. All of you cast a chart, cast a horoscope. Male horoscope, 12th of February, 1979, 7:55 a.m. Chennai, Tamil Nadu. Male horoscope, Paurnami or Purnima Tithi. So for Paurnami Tithi, what is the Tithi Shunya? Mesha
No
Kanya,
Tithi
correct?
Shunya.
Very
No
good,
Tithi
very good.
Shunya.
All of you are on page. Very good, very good. Okay. Anybody has cast the horoscope? Does somebody wants to share that horoscope? Somebody wants to tell? Tell. Otherwise, I will. Kumbha Lagna. Ketu, Mercury in Kumbha. Okay. All right. 5th Mandi. Mandi Bhagwan. Next. In Kadagarashi, Moon Guru. Okay. Shani Rahu in Simha. Shukra in Dhanusha. Sun, Mangala, Mars in the Makara Rashi 12th. All right. All of you, have you written down? Do you want me to repeat? Kumbha Lagna in the Lagna, Mercury Ketu. Mandi in the 5th Bhava. Moon Guru in the 6th. Saturn Rahu in the 7th. Shukra Bhagwan in the 11th. Mangala Bhagwan, Surya Bhagwan in the 12th. Okay, now we're just discussing from or with respect to what? With respect to the Ashtamadipati in the Lagna. All of you pay attention here. So don't cover everything. We're just focusing on the Ashtamadipati in the Lagna. Just one small example horoscope. Right? Okay. Who's the 8th Bhava Lord? All of you. All of you interact. Please don't leave me. Please don't sleep.
Mercury.
Where is the Ashtamadipati?
Lagna.
In Kumbha. Lagna.
Which Lagna is this? Which Lagna is this? Kumbha Lagna. Kumbha Lagna ruled by Shani.
Shani.
See,
Shani is
Ashtamadibadi in the
aspecting.
lagna. Don't go to Shani aspecting, ma'am. Ashtamadibadi in the lagna. Shani is aspecting. That is correct.
Kumbha.
However, there
Yes.
is background noise. Please, those are background noise. Please don't come. Don't unmute yourself. Okay. Ashtamadibadi is in the lagna. Shani is aspecting fine. But just before that, first you should also keep this in mind. Even if Shani was not aspecting, in whose house he is? He is in Shani's house. Am I correct? This also you should remember, right?
Yes.
So lagna itself becomes Shani's house. So that way also you can take the Shani connection. Right. Okay. So Ashtamadibadi is in the lagna, and Shani and Ketu are associated with the lagna, with the Ashtamadibadi. Am I correct? All of you?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So this person was in a good job away from his native in a foreign land. He's returned back. He's left his job. Now he again wants to go back to a foreign land. Again, he wants to go back to a foreign land. So you can write down this. This person was in a good udyoga in a foreign land. Again, he's planning to go back to a foreign land. Ashtamadibadi in the lagna. What is the first thing that you should predict? Ashtamadibadi, there are two things that I told you. One is skin problem. This person has skin problem and he has also undergone a surgery. Now, closely look into the horoscope. Sun, Mars, Moon, leave Moon out, okay, Guru. All of them are associated, Sun, Mars, Guru. So, Sun, Mars, Guru connection indicates that he will be in a good position. He will be in a good position. First, you should start with how the position will be. Will it be good? Sun is there, Mars is there, aspecting Guru. This connection is there. All of you, are you able to see that? All of you, yes?
Yes.
So either they will be in a government job or a job which is equal to a government role, government position. The dignified position is there. Okay. Ashtamadibadi in the lagna aspecting the seventh bhava. Can you see? So, how is the seventh bhava lord? The seventh bhava lord is in the 12th. Parivartana is later on. First he is in the 12th. That also you need to take. That is later on. But the seventh bhava lord is in the 12th. Correct, no, ma'am? Ma'am? All of you?
Sir.
First, the Ashtamadibadi is aspecting the seventh. What did I tell? The wife will have ailment.
Differences.
Continue. Ma'am, ailment. Medication. Do you remember that? Seventh lord is in the 12th. Ashtamadibadi in the lagna, aspecting the seventh. Seventh lord is in the 12th. His wife has, or he's taking huge medical expenses for his wife, and she has undergone a surgery. This much with what we covered in the 8th bhava lord and the lagna, I'm trying to actually apply it and give it for you for prediction. So just these things are enough for you to come up with a set of prediction. Later on, you can tell, sir, was there a love marriage? Was there a marriage amongst your relative circle? Why love marriage? You should think. Why relative circle? You should think. All this is later on. They would say yes. But these points, sir, do you have skin related problem? Were you doing a job away from your native place? Did you undergo some surgery? Or are you having are you having health issues? Is your wife also having health issues? These 4-5 points you predict that itself will be good. You will say yes. The answer is yes, obviously. You go to a foreign land, distant land, and you will do. Next, you can add, do you have eye-related problem? Eye-related ailment? All of this is a yes. Now, in continuation with the 8th bhava lord in the lagna. Ashtamadibadi in the lagna. All the points discussed all the points discussed will be applicable. All the points discussed above, you write, which is for Ashtamadhipati in the lagna, will be applicable for all those who have Ashtamadhipati in the 7th bhava. So now what are we going to add? Go back to the page there. Same. You don't have to cover them separately. So first you should come with a basic set of predictions. All the predictions that I told you. 8th Lord in the lagna, all the points. Then what else you see in this horoscope that you can go on adding, right? What type of marriage was it? Was there a secrecy pertaining to the marriage? All these are the little things that you've studied from the other bhavas that you can ideally. You should ask that also. But first you finish what is there pertaining to that bhava and go to that next bhava. That is how it is. So this is how it is. Anybody else? Any question? Anybody wants to share something? Before that, since we discussed about, see, this person, he got married to his close relative, but there was a love angle also to it. You know, he just wanted to get married to her. That's how it is. So when it comes to matters of love, you can actually write a few points. So here you have the Ashtamadhipati in the lagna aspecting the 7. So there is a secrecy pertaining to the marriage. 5-7 connection is also there. Write down. For love marriage, see, usually when we say 5-7 connection is there, love marriage, but little more rules which can actually give you some form of idea on whether there is love or not. Not marriage, love at least. Will the person fall in love? When Simha Rashi is occupied by more than one Ashubha Grahas, more than one or more than one Ashubha Grahas, not one, more than one Ashubha Grahas, else. When the 5th from Shukra or the 5th from Shukra attains strength, or when the 5th or Simha Rashi is associated with Mars. One is Shukra, who's a hormonal planet. Next is Mars, he is also a hormonal planet. 5th is love. Before that, what we discussed, when Simha Rashi is occupied by more than one Ashubha Graha. Next. When the 7th Bhavadhipati is in its own nakshatra, star lord. So when the 7th Bhavadhipati is in his own nakshatra, they will be stubborn. I will only marry as per my choice. They will be very steady that, you know, I only want to get married to this person. Then, so their love is there. The decision pertaining to marriage is also in their line. There will be love. There will be. So all these little rules you should remember. See, one person, there is a 7-8-2 connection in his horoscope. 7-8-2. So first you should ask them, is there some form of a problem in the marriage? No, sir, I'm perfectly fine. My marriage life is going very good. Now, if there is no problem in your marriage, is there some form of a link apart from your marriage? He will obviously say no, but the more and more you dig, this person, I'm not talking about this person, I'm talking about 7-8-2. 3 families are operating, right? So like this, you will find many things only as you go and dig deep into the horoscope. So all of you cast a horoscope. Put the 8th Bhava Lord in the 2nd. Okay. Meanwhile, let me just connect. Get back to the. So before we go ahead to the 8th Lord in the 2nd, one small tip has already been covered. Let's say you're traveling on a long distance or you're going somewhere and you want to reach that destination smoothly. What you can do is you can eat some beetroot. You can make some vegetable, what do we say? Vegetable made out of beetroot, and you can eat it just before you go for the trip, and the trip would be smooth and you would get what you wanted in the trip, right? What is the logic behind that? Can anybody of you tell me? It's there in the word itself. Beetroot, R-O-U-T-E. Obviously, for beetroot, we use B-E-E-T-R-O-O-T. That's the logic, right? So you can try it. Right. Now, let's put the 8th lord in the second. So previously what we did, we covered the Ashtamadhipati in the Lagna Bhava. So all the predictions that apply for the Ashtamadhipati in the Lagna Bhava also apply for the Ashtamadhipati in the 7th Bhava, because here we are going to obviously connect using the 7th aspect, or the focus in entirety is based on the 7th aspect, so that to make sure that we come up with cleaner, better, precise predictions. Right? That's more important. See, I can go on and on with the points, but what I want you all to do is I want you all to start predicting using these points. And this is also perhaps the confusion which happens when I give you an example horoscope. When I give you an example horoscope, what all of you are doing is you are actually connecting the horoscope on your own way. Of course, that is fine. There's nothing bad about it. In fact, it is very good that, you're thinking on your own. But that is not the way a course proceeds. In the earlier days, when you had to learn astrology, you would go to a Patashala, you would go to a Gurukula, and you would be given a set of rules, right? And these rules are not necessarily for you to immediately start contemplating upon. Be it in Jyotisha, be it in something to do with the religion, spirituality, Veda, or for that matter, even if you had to go for, something to do with a singing class. Let's say you want to learn Carnatic music or Hindustani music. It is not that straight away you go and start singing. No, that's not the way it works. First, what the ground rules are, what the foundation is, that would be taught to you. And that should be memorized again and again and again. You have to repeat that again and again. And then you combine it and then you start singing. Then you combine it and then only you should start contemplating. So when I say that, I'm going to give you a horoscope and let's practice, it does not mean that you can go on your own whimsical ways in order to go about and predict. No. What is it that we covered point-wise? That's why everything is given to you point-wise. Point number 1, point number 2, point number 3. Why am I telling like that? So every point that is being given should be by-hearted. And when I say by-hearted, not by means of rote. Rote is you're mugging up something without knowing why you're mugging up something. That is not what I want you to do, because for everything what I'm doing, I'm giving you a logic behind it. I'm giving you a reasoning behind it. And even if you lack a clarity on something, I always ask you, ask me if you're clear about why I told this. So keeping that logic in mind, you have no other option but to memorize it. That is how it works in a Patashala. That is how it works in a Gurukula. First, you need to memorize it. Then you need to actually go on telling, repeating. Then, miraculously, you would be able to go about and interconnect things, one, and you would be able to come up with so many finer, nuanced, subtle points. This is the way it works. This is the way it should be. This is the way it ought to be, right? So a practice is based on what is taught. So you need to repeat what is taught again and again and again by heart. And this is worth memorizing. This is worth, remembering. Why? Because once you actually repeat it and remember, this will save you for your entire life. I don't know if you being a software engineer is going to save you, or if you being a certified financial accountant is going to save you, but this will save you. Even if you're there without your handbag or your purse or without your job, without anything, right on the main road, this will save you. That's how powerful it is. That is how potent it is. That is how potent it is in order to go about and know a skill, master a skill, and attain an expertise in the skill, right? So this is what you need to keep in mind. Okay. So that's how the practice sessions are also going to be. Practice session 1 has been given to you shortly. practice session 2 would come most likely in the first bit of the next month. Practice session 2 would be given to you. But for that, you need to revise daily. You need to revise like little children. 2 1s are 2, 2 2s are 4. That's how you started, no? Did you contemplate why 2 1s are 2? 2 plus 2 is 4. Why 2 plus 2 is 4? That part is not about contemplation. But here, I'm allowing you to actually go about and get this liberty of also understanding the reason behind it. So, literally, like little children, you can cover the page. Okay, 8 Bhava Lord in the lagna. What is it? 1 1. First point, second point, third point, fourth point. Like that, you literally need to do, remembering it with logic. That's how you need to actually master this Shastra. And most importantly, you need to predict. You need to talk. You need to tell. So the more and more you talk, the more and more you tell, the more and more you actually go about and put it to practice, you will slowly, beautifully see that magic unraveling in front of you. Right? Okay. So now you have the 8th Lord in the 2nd house. So we're going as per the Kala Purusha. So nothing changes here. We are predicting as per the Kala Purusha. But just in order to make sure that we come and hit to the chase, hit the nail right on its head, we are only looking at the 7th aspect here, particularly. Why? Because we're talking about Mars involved here. So instead of getting deeper into the 4th and 8th, we are going deeper into the 7th because it is obvious that somebody would have something else as the Ashtama Bhava. But nonetheless, when it comes to the Kala Purusha Tattva, when you're applying the rule, when you're applying the concept, the moment you're talking about the Ashtamadhipati, what should inevitably come to your mind is Mars or Mangala. When you're looking at the Drishti, what should you be focused on more? The Drishti, which is the 7th Drishti or the Saptama Drishti. Okay. So you have Mars here. So let's consider this as per the Kala Purusha itself. So now if the Ashtamadhipati is in the 2nd Bhava, where would he aspect? He would aspect his own house, right? He would aspect the Ashtamasthana. He would aspect Vrishchika Rashi. Remember one important thing that we discussed, a Graha aspecting his own house is considered to be in strength. So the 8th Bhava Lord is in the 2nd. And from there, he is aspecting Vrishchika Rashi. So obviously, it is strengthened here. Okay. So if the 8th Bhava Lord is in the 2nd, it's obvious that he is actually going to go about and aspect the 8th. So now, even if the 8th Bhava Lord was in the 8th, he would aspect the 2nd. So all the predictions that we are covering here holds true for all those who have the 8th Bhava Lord in the Ashtamasthana as well. Clear? So we are covering all the predictions. I'm just going to go about and give you predictions which are a mix or which are a combination or which are suited for both of them. Right? It would be straight to the point. And in order to come to a conclusion on that, that's the reason I tell you all, who are the people, those who have the 8th Bhava Lord in the 2nd, come up with your attestation. Who are the people who have the 8th Bhava Lord and the 8th, come up with your attestation. The attestation is not to glorify me, but to glorify the teaching. Why you need to glorify the teaching here? Because once you're clear that, this is working out, then you would know, or you would be sure with this fact that, now I need to make sure that I memorize this. Because this is bang on, this is correct, and it is worth actually remembering it. So that is the foundation pillar from where you actually go about and predict or practice. Without that as a foundation pillar, I'm afraid to say you are not astrologers. You know something about the Graha, you know something about the Bhava, you would just be mingling both of them, and it is not really astrology, it is actually your own story. It is more or less an autobiography. So you cannot call yourself as a complete astrologer here, but you can just call yourself as a counselor. You're counseling people. That's it. Right? And there is nothing, there is nothing wrong in that. That's absolutely good to actually go about and counsel people. But what I'm telling is, You need to go about and counsel people with a set of firmness within you. And to get that firmness, you need to make sure that you go about and remember each and everything which is taught to you by heart. And that should happen every day. I should spend some time, at least a half an hour minimum, going through the lessons that I've learned, making sure that I remember whatever I've learned, and then obviously going about and applying it. So the predictions that we are going to cover is also, or it would hold good for all those who have Mars, Mangala in the Ashtama Bhava, right? This is how it is. So let's start with the predictions. So here, point number 1. Remember, we're going to mix. So first, we have the 8th Bhava Lord in the 2nd. So how do I need to go about with the prediction here? Or what is the crux? Or what is the way in which we are gathering the prediction here? The 8th. What is the 8th of the Kala Purusha? It is Vrishchika Rashi. Who gets debilitated in Vrishchika Rashi? Moon. Who rules Vrishchika Rashi? It is ruled by Mars or Mangala. So yesterday when we were discussing, we were talking about the 8th Bhava Lord in the lagna. So who rules the lagna? Mars, Mangala. Who gets exalted there? Sun. Who gets debilitated there? Shani. So keeping all this in mind, the predictions are given to you. So now we are covering the 8th Bhava Lord in the 2nd. So now, if the 8th Bhava Lord is in the 2nd, what happens in Vrishabha Rashi? There are 2 grahas involved. One who gets exalted, which is Chandra. There's another graha who also attains strength, Shukra. But what I need to remember is, what are the grahas involved here? That much I need to remember. That's it. Exaltation or getting into his own sign or debilitation, that is the 2nd part of it. But what are the grahas which are involved here? It is Moon, it is Shukra. This has to be remembered. And who's sitting there? He's the Ashtamadhipati. What are the qualities of the Ashtamadhipati? What are the qualities of Vrishchika Rashi? And obviously, what happens in Vrishchika Rashi? What are the grahas which are involved in Vrishchika Rashi? For now, you just need to consider 2 of them. One, which is Moon, who gets debilitated. The involvement is pertaining to Moon. Mars, who's in his own sign. The involvement is Mars. That's all, sir. That's all. With this, only the connection is come up with. Okay, right. Let's start with the first. 8th Lord in the 2nd. I'm repeating, the 8th Lord is in the 2nd. Even if the 8th had to be in the 8th, he would be aspecting the 2nd. Remember that. So the 8th Lord is in the 2nd. Write down point number 1. Will undertake or undergo medication pertaining to eye or teeth, tooth. Will take medication pertaining to one's eyes or teeth, which means he will have ailment pertaining to his eye or pertaining to his teeth. This is point number 1. In that, you can write the sub point, point number 1.2. They will also pursue education, in bracket, medicine, pertaining to this field. So tomorrow, if you had to predict about somebody who would become a dentist, this is where you would look into. Or if somebody wants to pursue something to do with eyes, right? Again, you would look into this. Right? So this is also there, and this could also be there. So tooth, eye ailment, this is there. Or for people who pursue medicine in the field, they would also have this combination. Right? So if he's a doctor, what doctor he is? Is he a dentist? Or is he into something to do with what? Is he an eye surgeon or something to do with eyes? Right? Is he an ophthalmologist? Number 2. There would be delay in one's speech. There would be delay in one's speech. Or, you write 2.2, they would create disturbances they would create disturbances while they speak to others. While they speak to others. Which means either there would be a delay in their speech, or owing to speech, they will create problem for others. Right? The 8th in the 2nd. There is a logic here. Number 3. In the family, there would be frequent arguments. Why? Because the 2nd bhava is the kutumba sthana. It is the sthana which indicates one's family. Else, right? 3.2. Owing to the speech, they will create problems in the family. Not just family. Anywhere they go, they can create problems pertaining to their speech. Right? So, this is how it is. So, we have a Tamil comedy where Sendil will go from one house to another house in a village. He'd be selling padani. Padani is a sweet beverage. So he would go to each and every house in the context of selling the sweet beverage. And what he would do is he would end up speaking ill about the wife to the husband, speaking ill about the husband to the wife, create quarrel. Then he would go to another house, sell padani. He would go to a house where both the brothers are so much in love and adulation for each other. And what he would do is he would go and tell about this brother to that brother to this brother, and both of them would get into a big duel or an argument or a quarrel. So these type of people, you should be very, very, very careful here. Right? That is how it is. So when the 8th bhava lord is in the 2nd, or the 2nd bhava lord is in the 8th, and if you find this combination, coming to your place, be it at home, be it at workplace, or be it anywhere, you should be aware. Oh my God, he has arrived. Now he's going to do something in the house. She's going to do something in the house. She's going to create something owing to what? Owing to her or his speech. So care and attention is required here. See, 8th lord in the 2nd. Look at the ways we actually are going about and weaving the predictions. Look at the ways in which we are actually going about and turning the predictions in one way to the other. This is the way the prediction works. And what I'm telling you is, first, this has to be mastered. This foundational bit has to be mastered. This should just come to you like that. Only with that, the contemplation would automatically follow. Without that, it is just an imagination. I'm not saying that you won't hit, but you won't hit accurately. Right? So this is important. Number 4. A few of them will live apart from their family for the purpose of earning. A few of them will live apart from the family for the purpose of earning. Number 5. Will have more than one source of income. Will have more than one source of income. Number 7. Will talk in between others' talk. Bracket cross talk. They won't allow the other person to complete what they want to tell. Right in between, they will enter. That's how they will be. Cross talk. So, more than one source of income. A few of them will live apart from the family. Travel away for the purpose of income. This will also be there. Number 7. Will have Binami property. Binami property. Number 9. Number 9. Will have LIC earning. LIC earning. Some form of a earning, some form of an unexpected earning, a deposit earning, a pension earning, a LIC earning, something will be there. Something for which they haven't really worked hard for. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Number 10. Rental income, banking jobs will be there. So you will find bankers with this combination. Bankers means straight away don't go to, I am working in ICIC Bank. No, it is ICIC also. It is also a person who is financing out money. He is a financier. That is also included here, right? So banking jobs, rental income will be there. Number 10. Will face a financial litigation, else a family litigation or dispute. So financial dispute is there, or family related dispute will also be there. Why? Because we're talking about the second bhava, which means we've actually spoken about, finding bankers who have this combination. So let's say somebody happens to be a banker, they should be extremely careful here. Why? Because let's say somebody is into finance or somebody is into banking. Okay? They should be extremely careful. Why? Because they could be charged, they could be accused of mishandling funds. So family-based litigation or litigations pertaining to money, financial litigation or dispute. So now the question should arise in your mind. See, you're telling the plus also here, telling this money is there, that money is there. You will get money owing to being apart from the family. Bankers are there. And at the same time, you're telling problem is also there. So, sir, now you tell me which will happen and how will it happen? Let us say the positives are also there. So the negatives are also there. So let us say somebody has to face the negatives pertaining to what we spoke. What has to happen? Any one of you? What has to happen here? Eighth bhava lord is in the second. Now,
gets afflicted there.
If it is afflicted means what?
Either with Saturn, Rahu, Ketu.
Basically, when associated with Ashubha grahas, malefics. That
then
time what happens?
Negativity comes.
What about the positives? When will that come?
When it is in Bala or Jupiter aspect.
When it is associated with Shubha grahas. That's all. Or the eighth bhava lord is in the second. The house in which he is, if he loses strength, the malefics happen. The house in which he is in, he gains strength. The subha phalas are gone about and multifolded upon or multiplied upon. Right? So this is something that you need to keep in mind. All of you understood? Yes? All of you? Yes? Can I move on?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Okay. Now. So now we are talking about Ashtamadhipati in the second. And also the Ashtamadhipati in the Ashtamasthana. But also remember the fact, this holds true for all those who have Masa or Mangala in Vrishabha as well. Of course, separately for Vrishchika Rashi we covered. If you want, you can include this here also. Else, you can look up to Vrishchika, Mas, Mangala. There also you have the answers. So it applies also for people, those who have Mas, Mangala in Vrishabha. It also applies to people, those who have Mars, Mangala in Vrishchika, though in detail we have covered Mars and Vrishchika separately just before. So you can check up on that. So here, financial litigation, problems pertaining to family, family-based litigation, right? All of this is there. But what is the crux that you need to understand here? Second indicates your mouth. Ashtamadhipati is getting into the second bhava. So owing to their speech or owing to what they talk, they will create problems for themselves and they will also create problems for others. So what you need to understand from this here is that whatever you speak, wherever you speak, to whomsoever you speak, there should be some form of a care and attention required. What is supposed to be spoken only should be spoken. This should be the basic takeaway from this also. And this should also be the basic counseling. With this only you counsel, not directly you go and counsel. With this, what would you counsel such type of a person? You should just speak what is required and not more than what is required. That's how it is. Number 11. The mother will also have eye-related ailment. The mother will also undergo a surgery. The mother will also have eye-related ailment. The mother will also have surgery. Why are you bringing the mother here? Because it is in that second bhava of the Kalapurusha, in Vrishabha. Now again, just in case somebody has just joined in new, irrespective of what your lagna is, as long as the eighth bhava lord is in the second for you, or forget the eighth bhava lord, as long as Mars is in Rishabha for you or Vrishika for you, all these predictions would hold true. The point of consideration is the Ashtamadhipati of the Kalapurusha. We are connecting that with Rishabha and Vrishika. It's as simple as that. So Ashtamadhipati is in the second. It is in the second bhava. Then move the Karaka Graha for mother. The fourth bhava lord attains strength. So remember I told you we need to consider the grahas associated here as well. Of course, at a deeper layer, we also consider the nakshatras. You don't have to worry about that. All of that is kept in mind while giving you the points. That's why I'm telling all of you, jump means jump. I'm telling you, jump from so many meters above. You have to jump. That's it. Because I know what you will do when you open your mouth and talk. You will create pure magic. So, moon is involved here. So, mother will also undergo eye-related ailment. Mother will also undergo surgery. Right? Yesterday, while we were talking here, what were we telling? Ashtamadhipati is getting into the lagna. Ashtamadhipati, which indicates the stench, which indicates all what the Ashtamadhipati signifies, is getting into the lagna. What are the grahas involved in the lagna here? The grahas involved in the lagna here are Shani and Mars. So we came up with a set of predictions, skin-related ailments, skin allergy. Now, where is the focus on? The second. What happens in the second? What are the grahas involved in the second? That's the way. Right? Okay. Next, number 30. In the mother's family, there will be a teacher. In the mother's family, there would be somebody drawing pension income. In the mother's family, there would be a teacher. In the mother's family, there would be somebody drawing pension income. Okay, now I predicted for the mother using the eighth lord in the second, right? Now, who else can I predict this for? Who else can I predict this for?
Wife.
Wife, very good. Who else can I predict this for?
Brother.
Spouse family.
Wife's family.
Spouse family.
Wife's family. Okay. See, I'm talking about eighth lord in the second. What are the grahas involved there? Moon is involved there, so I predicted mother will have a eye-related ailment, mother will have a surgery. My question now is, who else will have a surgery? Who else will have eye ailment? That's what I'm trying to ask.
Aunt, sister, and aunt.
Sister, all of them also you can include. All of you, are you able to understand how to connect?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, let's go to the next point. How are you going to consider the next point now? Ashtamadhipati in the second bhava. It is in the second bhava of the Skala Purusha that the fourth bhava lord attains strength. And the second bhava lord attains strength. That is where the Ashtamadhipati is. Right? Right now, point number 15. The place where they are staying, the house, the property, will have encumbrance issue. Some litigation will be there. Some problem will be there pertaining to that property. The property won't be proper. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Right? The place, the property, the house, the flat, whatever you call it, will have encumbrance issue, will have problem. It's number 40. It's number 50. Will have deposit income. Will have deposit income. Number 16. They would have mortgaged. They would have mortgaged their property documents. Their property documents, their property will be mortgaged somewhere. It will be locked up somewhere in a bank. Or they would have given it to somebody. Number 17. The mother, father will have putra dosha. See, mother means father is also included. That is what I'm trying to mean here. So the mother, father will have putra dosha. Okay. Next, number 18. The father also would have faced a litigation. The father also will face a litigation. Number 90. Number 19. In the mother's family, there would be somebody in the occupation of food related business. What are the food businesses? One is grocery shop, running a hotel or a restaurant, agriculture. All of this is food business. Right? So in the mother's family, there would be somebody in food, agriculture related activity or business. Number 20. In the beginning, we're not talking about the mother now, we are talking about the person here. In the beginning, they will face poverty, and as they grow up in the later stage, they will have prosperity. 8th Lord in the 2nd. But nonetheless, the 8th Lord is aspecting the 8th, right? So there is a nivarti. So in the beginning, what happens? In the beginning, there would be poverty, lack of funds, difficulties in the house. As they grow older, or mostly in the later stage of life, there would be prosperity. Why? Because he is aspecting the 8th itself. Number 21. They will have contradictory speech. What do we mean by contradictory speech? Contradiction means contradiction itself, but negativity in their speech. Number 22. Number 22. In the beginning, it's the same thing, but right again. In the beginning, there would be hindrances in their income, and in the later stages, there would be progress in their income. In the beginning, there would be hindrances, and towards the end, there would be progress pertaining to their income. Many people who have this combination, permutation, right? 8th Lord in the 2nd, are separated from their family. Not that everybody is separated, but you would also find many people who are separated from their family having this combination. All of this. But nonetheless, parallelly, you should also understand that when a Bhava Adhipati is aspecting the Bhava, then it attains strength. So write down. Since the Ashtamadhipati is aspecting its own house, which is in bracket you put as Ashtamasthana, all the problems pertaining to the Ashtamasthana, all the problems pertaining to the 2nd Bhava, whatever problems are there pertaining to the 2nd Bhava, will have a nivarti. There will be a nivarti pertaining to that. So, keeping that in mind, write down number 24 or 25. Even if they have bad habits, they will come out of these bad habits. He is also aspecting the 8th, so it will give strength to that also, which means what? Sudden change, which also means point number 26. They will have sudden luck. That sudden luck will also come to them. Next, number 26. Remember, the 8th Bhava indicates what? The negativity is associated with the 8th. That is what is impairing the 2nd. So now, since it is aspecting the 8th, since the 8th is getting strong here, the problems caused by the 8th to the 2nd which is to the second now, will have a nivarti. That is what I mean here. Right? Next, number 27. Ayul Bala. Ayul Bala. But in the family, one of their co-bonds will not have a long ayul or will have problem pertaining to their ayul. So their ayul is Bala. Right? Why? Because Mars is aspecting his own sign. But nonetheless, in the family, the second bhava, Ashtamadibadi is aspecting the second. In the family, somebody, who's the somebody? One of the co-born. Why the co-born? We are taking Mars. As per the Kalapurusha, Mars indicates your co-born or your younger sibling or somebody who's born with you, right? Will have a problem pertaining to one's ayul. Right? That's how it is. All right. Now, I want you all to cast a chart, an example horoscope. Now, I don't want you to go on the rambling mode. Just listen carefully here. All that I'm covering here is the 8th Bhava Lord in the second. So just stick with it. What I'm trying to do here is, we have studied a set of points. Let's take an example horoscope and see how it has been applied. That's all I'm doing, right? Okay. First, you fill in the grahas, and then I will give you the birth detail. Okay. Kanya Lagna. Okay. Ketu in the Lagna. All of you with me? Have you all casted a horoscope? Do you want me to wait for you? I'll wait for you. Please let me know if you've casted the horoscope.
Proceed, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ketu in the Lagna. Mars, Mercury, Mars in the second. Okay. Saturn, Sun in the third in Vrishchika Rashi. Okay. Shukra Bhagwan in Dhanu. Dhanusha. Put Moon in Kumbha. Rahu Guru in the 7th Bhava. What else is there? Mandi in Simha Rashi. This is a chart. Okay. Now, note down the birth details. 21st of November, 1987. 21st of November, 1987. 2 a.m. 2 a.m. Not p.m. a.m. Chennai. 2 a.m. Chennai. Okay. The nakshatra is Purva Bhadrapada nakshatra or Purattadi nakshatra. Purattadi nakshatra. The tithi, what is the tithi? Any one of you? We have the tithi. The tithi is Navami tithi. Okay. So we have Navami tithi. Okay. Now all of you come with me. The 8th Bhavadibadi. Who's the 8th Bhavadibadi here? We have Kanya Lagna. Who's the Ashtamadibadi here?
Mars.
Mars.
Where is Mars?
Mars.
Is he in the 2nd Bhava?
Second Bhava.
And he's aspecting his own house. He's aspecting the Ashtama Bhava.
Yes, the Aries.
So this is the horoscope of a female. Right? So in the first stage of her life, right, just to get married, just to find an alliance to get married itself was so difficult for her. It was like enough is enough. They were searching all over the place. So many alliances they were trying here, there, but marriage itself was getting delayed. So many places. None of the places was getting set. In fact, she also happened to get an alliance. Okay, Guru is getting into Vakragathian thoughts. Okay, she also got an alliance from her own relative circle also. But that also could not get finalized. So somehow she got married. But you know what happened immediately after marriage? Immediately after marriage, daily quarrels, big quarrels. So immediately after marriage, daily quarrels. Just shortly after marriage itself, the husband left her. Then after that, all the elders joined together. They went, they spoke, they made some form of a compromise. And then what? She returned back, or the husband returned back to the family life. Let's look at this here. Lagna Lord in the second. So what will happen? Lagna Lord in the second, what will this person do? This person will talk. Lagna Lord, it's me, is in the second. Go on talking, not allow the other person to talk. Remember what we spoke now? Just now. 8th Bhava Lord in the second. So now what is happening? Owing to what this person has had a problem pertaining to her family life? Owing to what?
Contradictory speech.
Speech. Too much of speech. Too much of speech to that extent, even in the TV. Mute if you're not interacting. Okay. So much of speech, continuously she will keep speaking to that extent that, you know what, even if she switched on the TV and, there's some news channel going on, she will speak to the newsreader. The newsreader will be going and telling some news. She will say, no, repeat that news again. Is the newsreader going to be able to listen to her? So that level of speech. So here, by just looking at the horoscope, what would she come? What do you think she would have come and she would have told? She would have told, why on earth did I get separated from my spouse? How can my spouse leave me? The moment the horoscope is seen itself, the first word that came out was, having this horoscope here, it is no big thing that your husband didn't leave you. Because if your husband didn't leave you, then this is not your horoscope, right? So if your husband didn't leave you, this is definitely not your horoscope, because the horoscope has that permutation where definitely there should be a problem in the family. Definitely there should be some form of a big problem pertaining to what? The family. Why? Because Ashtama's Lagna Lord is in the second. Ashtamadhipati is also in the second. So it's very, very easy. In fact, you don't have to go that far. You don't even have to open her horoscope to predict what would have happened to a family life. Right? She will go on, talk, never allow you to speak. With that itself, you can find out that, you know what? You are not allowing the astrologer itself to speak, who's trying to sort out your problem. Then imagine the state of the husband. You don't even have to open the horoscope also to find out what will happen to their family life. This is how it is. So this is what happened as far as the life is concerned. But again, it is aspecting the 8th bhava. So after some time, we joined back together. She tried very hard to go for a job. After a lot of struggle, she got a job. She started earning some money. Slowly, compared to what was happening before, she is earning fair or decently. Now, so there are two sources of earning now in the house. So she managed to buy a house, took a loan for the purpose of buying a house. Now, what I'm trying to tell here is 8th Lord in the second. So what are the points that we predicted? All of that to the point you can actually go about and apply here. 8th Lord in the second. So what would happen? He would aspect the 8th. Again, if you get a horoscope 8th Lord in the 8th, he would aspect the second. So this will be there. So you need to mingle both these points and predict. And here, you also need to keep this in mind. When a graha is aspecting its own sign, it attains strength. She also had eye-related problems. Teeth-related problem was also there. All this. The moment you just cast a horoscope, tup, 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 you will be able to predict. But the rule is you need to predict using the points. Only after you are completely, it will just come to you. And that is how we all learned. When you were in school, that is the way you learned. Right? It is not that immediately you went and framed your sentences or immediately you went and did things that you're doing now. You start like that. If you don't start there, if the start is not proper, then you know what? You're going to struggle a lot. And as I told you, you're just going to end up being a counselor, just talking your own story. And that is absolutely not wrong. But there should be a basis to whatever you talk. This is what I'm trying to communicate here. Right? Not that counseling people, because ultimately you're there to counsel people. Ultimately, you're there to show light to people. But on what basis? This should be the sound basis. Right? So that is how it is. So this is what we are going to be doing even in the practice session. So even if you come for the practice session, you have to be prepared for this now. Which means what? You have to have a command or at least open the book and tell what is there written when we studied here. So each and every point should be there. We're going to predict only basing points, right? So 8th Bhava Lord in the second, 8th Bhava Lord in the 8th, 8th Bhava Lord in Vrishabha, 8th Bhava Lord in Vrishika also you take, but separately for Vrishika we have taken, there we have considered the aspects in detail. So you go there for that. Now, if at all you have any doubts, go ahead. If at all somebody has the 8th Lord in second or knows somebody who has the 8th Lord in second, 8th Lord in 8th, go ahead, raise your hands and share, and we will move on to the 8th Lord in third. Go ahead, all of you, one by one. PX. Now, all of you cast another horoscope and put the heading as the Ashtamadhipati in the third bhava. So we're going to put the Ashtamadhipati Mars of Mangala in Mithuna. Just give me a moment. Okay, let's continue. The 8th Lord in the third. So if the 8th Lord is in the third now, where would he aspect? He would aspect the 9th bhava, correct? So you can mark it here. Okay. Now, before we go into the 9th bhava, we obviously need to keep this in mind. The 8th, what are the qualities of 8th? We have discussed in detail about the qualities of the 8th bhava, what it signifies. We've discussed the qualities of Vrishchika. Now, with all these qualities here, he's traveling and he's put his base in Mithuna, in the third bhava. In that third bhava, which signifies whom? Which signifies my younger, whom? My younger, all of you,
Sibling.
My younger sibling. Okay. This is the first thing that should come to your mind. See, the effort that is being taken here is just for you to aid the process of remembering the points. So once all this effort is taken, now you should not backtrack from going about and daily mastering this. If you master this, you are the king of kings. You're not even a king, my respected students. You are the king of kings, Rajadi Raja. Which means when a king is going to another king's court, what is the welcome that he gets? That is the kind of welcome you will get. Right now. So, keeping this in mind, the 8th Lord is going to the third, is seated in the third, which signifies my younger sibling. Number 1, there is no younger sibling. This person does not have a younger sibling. If this person has a younger sibling, then the younger sibling's life is not good. Point number 1. Drink some water. The person has no younger sibling. If at all he has a younger sibling, right? His life is not good. Number 2, owing to the co-bonds, the father will go through humiliation. The father will be highly impacted, some department or the other. He will have some disappointment owing to his co-borns. Right. The father, owing to his co-borns, will be impacted, humiliated, victimized, whatever you want you put. Somewhere he will have one big story to tell about his co-borns, aspecting the 9. 8 in the 3rd, aspecting the 9. So you write down parallelly. 8, 3, 9 is also something to people. Okay. And from his house, where is he from his house? 8th Lord. From his house, he's in the 8th. So we don't have to add another 8 here. Okay. Number 3. The native will undergo a medication pertaining to his ears, his nose, his throat, ENT, or shoulder, or neck. He will undergo a medication pertaining to these parts. Number 4. The father will face a litigation, comma. This comma is or. At times it will be and also. Or accident. See? Previously, we discussed the 8th Lord in the 2nd. There we discussed the father will undergo or face a litigation. Right? Why? Because the 9 Bhava, Kalapurusha has 9 Bhava. From the 9th, 6 is where Mars was positioned. Here directly opposite where we have Mars, Mangala, who's the Ashtamadhipati, right? 8, 3, 9. So the father will face a litigation. The father will face an accident. Number 5. The native. Surgery also you can include now. Yes. Number 5. The native will face a humiliation. What is humiliation? Somebody would come and disgrace this person. He would lose his dignity somewhere. The native, we are talking about the native here, right? The person will face a humiliation. Somebody would talk something. They would humiliate her. After the humiliation, he will change his place. He will move away from that place. He will go to a big city or a big town, and owing to his own effort, will come up and progress in life. Repeating. The native will face a humiliation. Post that humiliation, he'll shift. He will move to a big town, big city. There, owing to his own effort, owing to his own endeavor, he will come up in life. He will progress in life. How is it?
Why native will face humiliation, sir?
Right. I'll tell you. Number 6. Post I'm done asking. I'll tell you. Right. Number 6. Ma'am, humiliation is the 8th bhava. All of you, humiliation is the 8th bhava. Change of place is the 3rd. Big city is the 9th. Progress is the 9th. All of you, ma'am, understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Number 6. Owing to commission, owing to agreements, commission or agreement, the native will get unexpected labha, unexpected gains. Next. You're predicting for the native here. Number 7. Will have knowledge about medicine. Some knowledge will be there. Some points will be there about medicine. Take this medicine. This will get cured. Go to this doctor. That will get sorted. Go to this hospital. You'll get a solution. Some knowledge. They will have knowledge about medicine or astrology. Or astrology. Number 8. Number 8. Owing to government agreements, bracket, how can you have agreement with the government? Government contracts, right? Or owing to government-related efforts, or you can just write, there will be contracts, there will be some form of an effort towards government. Some effort he will take towards the government to be what? Something pertaining to a government contract, something pertaining to the government will be there. Right? So can everybody take something pertaining to a government? See, something which is as big as the government, some institution, some organization which is as big as the government, which is as known as the government. Next, number 9. There will be document problems, record-related problems pertaining to the government. So government means what? Government pata, land, to go to the register office. Some problem or the other will be there pertaining to what? Government documents. Next, number 10. Owing to check, handwriting, signature, installments, EMI, there will be dissatisfaction, which means again problem. Number 11. Will take medicine for the purpose of virility, VIRILITY, or comma, vigor, VIGOROUR. I don't know. That much English only I know. They will take medicine for the purpose of virility, vigor. They will have fear about their own virya. Does virya only apply to men? No, even in women, there would be something to do with, if this combination is there, frigidness, FRIGID, frigid. I think that is the spelling. Okay. Number 12. All this should be known, because when two people are getting married, and let's say you find this in a horoscope for a male, so you should be able to go about and give that counsel, obviously in a medical or a mental form to that person. Again, even if it's a woman also, if she's not able to tell, you should be able to give that counsel. Of course, the elders should do that. Number 12. Occupations. Occupations means business, occupation. Pertaining to quarrying, QUA. Quarrying means mines. Else, explosives will be there. Will be there. So everybody cannot get into mining. Everybody cannot go about and get into manufacturing explosives. But for those who are in this will be there. Else you can convert that into fertilizers. Right? That also can come. Okay. Next, number 13. The litigations, the accidents that come to them will change. The litigations or accidents that come to them would change. What do we mean by change? Sir, this person was almost going to fall on top of me while I was traveling in the bus. Instead of falling on top of me, he fell on somebody else. This is a change. Or somebody came to shoot me. Instead of shooting me, he shot another person. That is a change. 8th, accident. 8th, litigation. 3, change. 9th, bhagya, which means what? He will escape that. Right. Next. Number 24. Will escape accidents. Will escape accidents. Will escape litigation. Not 24. I'm sorry. Number 30. Number 14. Okay. Number 15. Incurable disease will get cured. How is it? All of you, how is it? Incurable disease will get cured. Parcel services, number 16. Parcel services. Telecommunication. See, all that is involved with the third bhava also. 8, parcel service. Third bhava, telecommunication, distant communication. What is this? In this digital era, you call this digital marketing and all of that, right? Telecommunication or research related activity. Remember yesterday there was a student who was asking about that some research, something else. Intelligence, that also can come. 8th basically, but the third, when you're talking about something to do with, you know what? Something to do with telecommunication. Okay. Parcel services, what do we mean by parcel service? Does it literally mean that you start a courier company, or you're doing something to do with perhaps taking a franchisee for a courier company? Basically, logistics that will actually go about and give them luck, give them success. So now the Ashtamadhipati is in the third. So from the Ashtamasthana, he is getting into a hidden house. So that's the reason I told you the minuses also, considering that. Right? But still, write down. They will be interested in sports. They will be interested in sports. And they will also have barriers in the same. Some hockey player, some cricket player. They will be interested in that. They will pursue that, but they won't be able to pursue that further. Some disturbances will be there. Either they won't be able to pursue it, or you know what, they will have some injury, this injury, or they won't get what they are supposed to get owing to that, going to that next level, like all of that. Number 13. They will attempt suicide. Attempt suicide once. Once in their life, they will attempt suicide. Number 19. For the purpose of promotion, they will put up a case. For the purpose of promotion, they will put up a case. Else, hurriedly, they will give VRS and come out. Just 2 more years, 4 more years, if you work there, you would have got pension. Suddenly, you don't know why they do what they do. They will just put the VRS and they will this or that. Number 20. If it is a female horoscope, all of you written down? Hope I'm slow. If it is a female horoscope, number 20, there will be problems pertaining to the Mangalya. Mangalya, I'm referring to the Mangalya thread. If you're telling, no, sir, we don't put the Mangalya, then obviously you will put a, what do we say, the ring, the wedding ring. Basically, Mangalya means that. There will be a problem pertaining to the Mangalya, if it's a Stree. For a few of them, they will have Irtara, or 2 marriages, if it's a female horoscope. Right? There will be problems pertaining to the Mangalya. What will happen? One, what can happen is, you know what? They won't put the Mangalya, or the Mangalya thread would just, you know what? It would just cut off and fall down. Else, they will be going for some walk, and somebody will snatch that Mangalya and go away. All this will be there. Or else, second marriage will be there. 2 marriage will be there. Right. Next, number 21. Putting a mechanic shed. What does a mechanic shed they do? They do servicing of vehicles, right? Mechanic shed. Those who are having mechanic shed with this combination, it will be very, very good for them. You can ask them also. There's a mechanic shed near your house. There's a mechanic shed near your house, then good. That is good for you. Till you are staying in the place near that mechanic shed, it will do you good. Why? Because the 8. The third bhava is what? Fitting. What happens in the mechanic shed? They will take everything. They will service your entire vehicle. And then what would they do? They would give it to you. Next. Number 22. There is also this combination also indicates the birth of twins. See, when you see 8, 3, 9, it also indicates the birth of twins. Does it work 100%? No. In bracket, put 40%. 40%. See, sudden luck is the 8th bhava. 9th is involved. The 3rd of taking that effort is involved. So that way, it ideally comes. Number 23. Here, owing to cell phone, OTP, one-time password, they should be careful. Writing, signature, handwriting, they should be careful. See, as technology goes modern day by day, the problems also connected with the 3rd bhava goes, it differs day by day, right? Like, you would find some people, you would have told something out of some context. Let's say, you're speaking on the phone to somebody, and in the phone, you obviously would speak something. Let's say somebody records that, somebody blackmails you, somebody shares it with another person, right? All these things, anything to do with communication, anything to do with writing, anything to do with passwords, anything to do with the mobile phone, you just lose the mobile phone like that, right? All of that is something that they should be careful about. Now, this also applies. What do we mean by this also applies? All the predictions that we are covering here also applies for those who have the Ashtamadhipati in the 9th bhava. Those who have the Ashtamadhipati in the 9th bhava. Same thing we are going to repeat. Ashtamadhipati in the 9th bhava. Where would he aspect? He would aspect the 3rd. Of course, there are other aspects also that you can consider, but we are not considering that here. Why? Because we are just trying to come into a set of finite predictions here. So, Ashtamadhipati in the 9th also, all these points would come. Point number 24. In the father's family, there would be 2 marriages. It can be the father himself, by the way. All of this is there. You will find all the points would just come bang on. One person. The person, the house, she had a problem pertaining to the nose. You have the nasal polyps that developed. Then she gave VRS just hurriedly. She was working in a government job and she gave a VRS. The VRS is not being accepted. Why? Because there is a documentation problem. Look at how it works. All of this. So daily you should revise. Remember, I'm trying to create you as professionals. It is not that you're just coming here for time pass. If you're coming here for time pass, no, right? You need to take the effort, because the small effort that you take is going to be extremely rewarding from the day one. Whatever you studied today, you applied. It's just like going to a bank, just putting your card and, pulling out that money from the ATM machine. Each and every word that you're learning here is rewarding. Not that I want to actually equate this with a monetary reward, but it is valuable. But the only way you can create value is through revision. Revision based on the points. First, the points should be by heart. Once the points are by heart, it's just like, how you've studied your LKG, UKG, first standard, second standard, fourth standard, fifth standard. throughout your school life, you've just been doing that, right? Only after you do that completely, even if you look at your degrees also, you do that. Only after you do that, this bent of contemplation naturally sets to you. It could be for any fields for that matter. It is not that you suddenly come and sit and say, I want to know who's God. No, that's not the way it works. There is a certain process of grounding involved. Okay? You cannot just go and start contemplating like that. So in any pursuit, there's a foundation which is required. The foundation is something that you just need to abide by. Of course, I'm being sweet, I'm being nice, I'm being considerate to all of you, but the end result is this. If you want the result, this is what you need to do. Otherwise, this is not something that is, it's not that it is not going to reward you, but the way you want it to reward you, for that, you need to put that effort on a day-to-day basis. Right? So this is how it is. So keep practicing, and most importantly, keep telling what you practice, because only when you tell, eighth lord in the lagna, or there is a eighth lord along with the lagnadhipati, mix both. Like this, when you keep telling, whatever way you want to tell, only when you tell it comes out. Of course, practice sessions are also going to come to you, but even when the practice sessions are going to come, the only realization will be, okay, whatever sir thought, I need to get back to the notes and memorize that. I need to go about and remember that. This is what he's trying to convey indirectly, that you would realize, right? But that would definitely be coming to you regularly, right? Because for each and every bhava, a graha in a bhavadipati in a bhava, you can go on and on with points, but I'm limiting the points here so that, it is easier for you to easily remember. After that, as you go, you will just keep getting more and more and more and more. But this is enough. This is more than enough to come up with a set of proper tup predictions. All right. So now, all of you, if you have any doubts, for those who have the eighth lord in the third, or for that matter, those who have the eighth lord in the ninth, or for that matter, if you have Mars, Mangala in Mithuna, you can actually go about and share. Anybody wants to share? Anybody has a doubt? PX 12, 15?